Hey y'all, welcome to another Wednesday of Ooh Ladies First Panel. Shout out to all the members who are joining us early for this live show and everybody else who's gonna be watching this on replay on Thursday. We appreciate you. We do. Okay. Ooh Ladies First Panel. Email us at gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. But y'all already know to follow each of us on our socials and our YouTube channels. Let's get Bondi to 100,000.
Yes.
Man, we almost there.
Yay.
Every
Oh,
day I'm
so
checking.
close.
So
Every
close,
day.
Jesus.
I'm like, okay. Jamie, that's me, and then myself, Necey Dixon. Y'all ready?
We ready.
Yes.
Let's go.
Oh,
Hey
what's up,
y'all.
y'all? What's
Hi.
going on? It seems like it's been like forever. Why every time we take a break, it seems like it's been a month?
It always does. I don't know why. It's so
It
weird.
does. See, and with us having a pre-record on Wednesday, I was telling Jamie before you came on, Bondi, I was low-key like, man, TV has been dry. Should we just shift another week out and go the last 3 weeks of May? Last 3
Yeah.
weeks of May. But I was like, it's just been so long. Like, if we make it another week, it's gonna feel like 2 months.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
That would have
Don't
been too
like that.
much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
TV has been dried off.
it has. I mean, Atlanta comes on Sunday.
It does. A lot is happening Sunday. So that one, a Real Housewives of Atlanta, Martha's Vineyard drops Sunday, right?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
then
Oh,
I'm
Sunday
hearing
after.
that MTV Awards or something was supposed to come on Sunday, but then I also saw that it was to be determined. So I'm like, well, that's interesting. If it
to
happens
be
to just,
determined.
yeah,
Right?
uh-huh.
I ain't hear that.
But it was listed under dropping on Sunday, and I was like,
Hmm.
But I'm like I'm not saying no advertisements, but I'm like, I don't even think they did that last year with one of those shows, one of the MTV's awards they did. I don't think it was any advertisement, and it was just on, and it was like, oh, okay.
Hmm.
I would hate
Hmm.
that for Housewives because their ratings probably would look not
Oh,
as
you're
good.
saying Housewives said to be determined.
No. When I was looking on my list to see like what's coming up, I saw that Housewives is dropping on Sunday. Martha's Vineyard is dropping on Sunday, and what was also listed on the same day was the MTV, I
Okay.
believe it's Movie Awards or something,
Okay.
but it
I feel like
had
I did see an
TBD.
advertisement
Okay,
a
so
while back
okay,
though.
I wonder if they probably gonna change. It's the MTV Movie and TV Awards.
Hmm.
Hmm. Man.
That would not
Um,
be good.
there was something else that
Something
I
going
felt
on.
like was about to drop.
Do
I
people have
keep
to write for that?
Do they have what?
Do people have to write for that?
Right for what?
For do people have to write for the award
Oh, that
show?
is
Because
such a because of the Writers Guild strike.
yeah.
I would think they do. I would
Oh,
think some writing because you know they got to read the teleprompter and all of that. So I'm
Yeah.
sure they got to. Ooh,
that's what it is. That's probably why I say to be
Yes.
determined.
ain't no telling how long this strike finna last. And I wonder how it's gonna affect these working actors or actors that had their season renewed, but they're about to go into the writing phase for the new season. That's
Hmm.
a lot. I forgot about
And
that
I'm
that
glad
quick.
P Valley already been written and it's shooting right now. Thank you,
Oh,
Lord.
it
Thank
is.
God.
Yes, they're shooting.
Man, I'm so glad
I'm glad.
because I thought we had another 3 damn years.
Nah, I saw a post of them all together recently, like on the P Valley Updates Instagram page. So I
Okay.
think they filming now.
Hmm.
Oh, that's good.
That is good. I'm
Yeah.
excited for them
Damn,
to
I'm
come
glad
back.
they must knew the strike was coming. They said we gotta go ahead and get this, man. Let's
Hurry
go ahead
up.
and finish this up before the strike come. But
I
I'm
gotta
happy
read
for
it.
them. I think it's good. I'm glad people are they deserve that money. Like writing is
Yes,
so impactful to so many fields. Like get them folks their money.
I agree. They need to hold out until they get it. When Quinta said she was gonna be in the picket line, I said, I know that's right.
I saw that. That was the first
Hmm.
place I saw it because I didn't know anything about it until I saw Quinta make that post today.
Same.
Hollywood's been kind of getting exposed a little bit, you know. It's
Oh,
like a little bit by little bit. I mean, Monique just sat up here and sued who Paramount Plus and CBS because they owe her money and rightfully so.
Yes. Got the
Monique.
partners in syndication and not paying them people.
Monique
Mhm.
who?
The
Monique, the
comedian.
comedian.
Oh, she's
Mhm.
suing them? Oh, you
Mhm.
better
Yes.
sue everybody. Get
Yep.
your
Yes.
money. Get your money.
Get your money. Period. What is
Mm.
from?
Yes. Okay. I wanted to ask y'all that. Low key, like, I wish that y'all would have. been watching because I've been binging since Sunday.
I know what it is. I haven't watched it yet, but I know what it is.
It is so good, y'all.
Paranu.
Yes.
Who?
And
Merch from Best Man.
The Best Man.
Harold Perrineau.
Yeah.
Did you watch Claws?
He was on Lost too.
No, I didn't see those.
Okay.
From The Best Man, which guy? Talking about the
one
black
with the
guy?
locks. Yeah.
No, yeah.
everybody
Okay,
black,
okay.
but
But what network is it on?
Amazon Prime.
Amazon
Well, it's
Prime?
MGM, but you can watch on Amazon Prime.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why I seen it.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
It is so good, and because like Lost used to be my favorite show. Like me, my sister, my daddy, we watch that show religiously, and it's kind of giving Lost. It's all these strangers. They show up in a town at different times, and you can't get out. But I don't want to say too much, but I think you should watch it.
Maybe the first season or the first few episodes of the first season. I'm gonna have to go and look at my shit because I feel like I watched some of it.
I saw this because then a bus get flipped over and somebody had to crawl inside the bus to help somebody. He had to stay at night. Like
it was an RV. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, RV. Yeah. I saw
that was the first, I think it was the first episode or the second one. I'm on episode 7 of season 1. Season 2 is on right now.
Oh, it looked like I only got through 3 episodes. I thought I watched more than that.
Well, yeah, it's real good. It's real good. Y'all should watch. Okay, so I have a question for y'all.
Okay.
If I could find the question. Let's get this started. What we're gonna do, I really liked how the last show, Jamie, you like pull some stuff from Twitter. So this is gonna be like a last week, this week in Twitter segment. So I wanted to ask y'all the question that they like to rotate every 6 months or every, fiscal year, whatever. How do y'all feel about living with a significant other before marriage? People were really opinionated about this on Twitter, and we talk about it all the time. And I feel like my views have changed, like, as I've gotten older and now that I'm married. But don't make an assumption based off of what I said. But I want y'all to tell me what y'all's opinion are on shacking up.
Before I got engaged, I actually was enjoying my space to myself so much that I actually thought about whenever I get married, I wanted to live in 2 different houses because I didn't think that I would want to compromise my space or anything like that, right? Well, since we've been engaged and we're living together, it's really not that big of a deal, I mean, it just depends for some people. Like, I mean, it's cool. Like I see no issue with it. I'm fine, especially because I don't cook.
I think it's vital. I think you should absolutely live with people before you marry them so that you can really get to know them and know if y'all are compatible, because the things that happen in a household can break a relationship. If you can't be in the same space with somebody for an extended period of time, then y'all probably should not get married. And I think that living together is a great tester for that. I also, I'm not one of them people that, no sex before marriage or, I aspire to. I think you need to know how everything's working before you decide to give your life to somebody. It's too much that can happen when you do have all of that information in order for you to feel like it's smart to go into it without knowing any of that shit. Back in the day, that might have been cute. But nowadays, girl, you need to know if he's going to leave the toothpaste top off the toothpaste every time, because, people get killed for stuff like that these days.
Facts. And that's why I love the fact that you could have your side, my side. Let's go ahead and get double everything. So I ain't got to worry about you fucking with my stuff over there or none of that. I would love to, I need to ask him how he feels about that. Because I wish we had a guy. I would want to hear their thoughts, because I feel like sometimes with us ladies, when they share the bathroom with us, we can have makeup like everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and they probably like, girl, you don't even need all that. Like, you only put on moisturizer, this right here and that. Why you got all this stuff out? So I just wonder.
Child, I wish somebody would say something to me about what's on the counter. Like, I've never had that, because it's like, are we really gonna have a conversation about what the fuck I need?
I say it to myself, because I'll be looking at the counter, I'll be like, damn, you really do it? And I'll be feeling bad. I'll be like, let me just, he don't never say nothing, but I know he probably be like, can't function.
He don't need nothing, and the stuff he do need be my shit. He use all my stuff. So
that's true.
my makeup take up this one half, but everything else be on the other half, and he take all that stuff. Like
See, we got two different, like he got his own sink and stuff over there, and then I have my own over here. But I know mine could be like a little out of place. He'll never say nothing though, but I know he'd be like, girl, get it together.
Yeah.
I wish we could have separate bathrooms, shower. We kind of do, but not really.
We supposed to. And what make it so bad is I only use my bathroom like for showering and stuff, but the vanity area is nicer in the guest area. Like it's bigger. So I always end up using his bathroom for the shit that take up all the counter space. So that's why I be feeling bad.
Right.
Because I'm like, technically I'm in your space.
Yeah.
But
you don't need all that space.
Nah, he just needs some sunscreen and that's it.
Right.
But my opinion on living with a significant other. So like initially before, I mean, I really don't care what people do, to each his own. But from my own experience, I would prefer to be living with someone who's like a fiance.
Yeah.
Only because initially, I have to say this, like, I was, like, okay, 23. I'm like, okay, me and my boyfriend gonna live together. I ain't, pressed on a ring. I'm only 23, But then you start living with this person for a long time and you just naturally assimilate to things that husband and wives do.
Yes.
And then you kind of start looking at that watch like, okay,
when you gonna do something?
Yes, like, okay, hold on. And I feel like you could remove so much of that unnecessary pressure from yourself if you keep your own space as a single person, like as a girlfriend, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Just because you're not putting that extra pressure on yourself, you ain't got people asking you when something's gonna pop up every 2 seconds. You kind of just chilling and you can actually be in that zone that you want to be in. And then whenever you know that things are gonna go to the next level, y'all can live together, assimilate to what you think, a marriage is gonna be like, and see if that works for you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I used to view some of my boyfriends like roommates.
Right.
When we break up, you can stay here, give me money. And, it's cool. But, when we break up, bye, you got to go. That's how I would feel about it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older, looking back, I probably wouldn't have let any of those people spend the night. Like, it's 2:00. Get up
and go. I'm with you on that.
Bye. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And ain't no cooking for you. Cooking for you for what? For what I'm doing that for? You better take me somewhere. Like I would have done things a little differently.
It's like, are y'all doing separate laundry too? Because that's the thing. You can't
you end up doing all of that shit for them.
Yeah.
And it's like, why am I doing wifely duties when I'm not a wife? If that's what I want. If that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? Because essentially some people just don't want to be married and they do like to be in long-term relationships. And that's cool too. But if your focus is to be somebody's wife eventually, I would impress upon everybody to keep their own shit until somebody puts a ring on it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Because I was real like, I'm not moving in if I ain't got, like, we ain't engaged on that. Like, no, that's dead. Because I've lived with one of my exes and we were together for like 7 years and there was absolutely no advancement. Like, I wasted my time. Like, with you, and you wasn't even that great of a mate.
Really waste your time. You learn, girl. You learned.
I definitely learned. I will give you that. You're right. Definitely learned.
Best thing he never had. Best thing you never had. Yeah. Girl.
For sure.
Well, I hope that somebody listens. Speaking of like the whole Twitter thing, y'all know one thing they always gonna talk about is dating and bills and shit and what somebody do for a career, like those 3 things. So this week, y'all, Ebony K. Williams went viral because she said that she would not date a bus driver unless he owned the bus. Then we get into this whole conversation about women and their standards. So I'm gonna play the clip just so y'all can hear what she said.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date a bus driver. But we think that it's another human being's responsibility to give us what we need instead of us building together. I can build with a bus driver. I'd have my little stash over on the side in my prenup, but I could build with a bus driver. So I think some of the criteria that we look for in the reality of today keeps us unhappy, keeps us angry, keeps us imbalance. And then when the men show up, we want to beat them up because they're not living up to our standards and criteria. And it's not working, beloved. It's just not working. So it's not that it's bad or wrong. It's obsolete. It's obsolete. We have to come up with a new way of being. I don't believe in carrying a man. A man has to do for himself.
Okay. So, I want to lead and let y'all know when I saw this trending on Twitter, I was reading the replies because my first assumption was that everybody was going to go up for Ebony. Like, girl, you should do it. It's kind of the same situation like how people was talking about B. Simone, how she was saying she wouldn't date nobody if you want an entrepreneur, if you work a 9 to 5. So I was surprised to see that majority of people was feeling away about what Ebony said and that, you know, they start pulling pictures of her with white men and talking about how, you know, successful Black women think that they're too good for Black men. And a lot of comments was like that. So I just want to see where y'all coming from because I felt like I was the minority of thought when I was looking at that thread. So number one, would y'all date the bus driver?
I don't know. I don't know if I would or wouldn't date a bus driver. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how they are, their character, all of that. I mean, I don't know. Possibly, it's possible, depending on who they are. Because one thing about it, that doesn't have to be a person's only stop. You know what I'm saying? That could be a place of where they are, but it doesn't have to be where they're going to be at in the long run. But on the flip side, when I watched the video, I was going up for Eb like, fuck that shit. I don't care nothing about what Iyanla talking about. It means nothing to me. And when she was over there talking about somebody was like, just watch the full video. Yeah, I watched the full video. At the end of the day, I'm still Team Ebony on this because just because you would date the bus driver does not mean that you have to pigeonhole me or force me or her into a position where she can't date above that. And I just don't think that's fair. And then it's like, instead of you speaking to the Black man or whatever man, because that's another thing, that's another point. When Ebony had this sit down, Ebony spoke on all men. She wasn't just speaking on Black men, but Black men got offended, and that's what they zoned in on because she's a Black woman. But she said she's dated them all, so it wasn't limited to just one group of people. But at the end of the day, like, if that's what she wants to do, like, let that lady do her thing. And it's like, you coming down on Eb, but you're not asking more of the Black man. Now, granted, I understand we're all like very limited with resources just as Black people. You got more Black men that's locked up, all of that. I get that, whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, again, the same way I said that about the bus driver, about where that doesn't have to be your only stop. Y'all as men can also rise and elevate, but you have to want to. Y'all be wanting a whole lot of a woman, but don't be trying to give a whole lot of nothing. And that's just not fair. And I'm with Ebony. And one thing about Eb, I truly believe, yes, she desires to have a man, but if she does not get one, I don't think she's going to be sad and crying and hollering about her being lonely or anything like that. I think she's going to deal with the cards and the hand that's in front of her. So it is what it is. I'm sorry. I was Team Eb. I said, girl, fuck all this shit. Y'all talking about care anybody. Date who you want to date, ma'am. This your life. You only got one, and you ain't gotta be. And this is another thing. Although I like Iyanla, don't be trying to sit up there and slick manipulate me.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying, with your soft tone and say we have a problem and you need to do this and that. And you know, it's not possible because the men don't have the credentials. Well, why the fuck is it that I had to work hard to get my credentials, but then I got to date down? When I choose to do that, that's when I'll do that. But where I am at today, I'm not doing this. And I love it. I say eat.
My problem with that is they want women to work hard, right? But once you reach the level of success, it's imperative that you kind of give back to the man, or especially the Black man. But if we just speak about men in general, you can't all of a sudden like abandon what you came from whenever you see a lot of Black men do that in general. Like, and okay, let's just step away from the topic of Black. Men in general do that when they reach a level of success. They usually want to date somebody who, well, let me not say that. That's not true. I had to pause for a second. I said, hold on. Wait, let me not say that. Because they'll date anybody. But the thing is, like, I feel like the world requires more from women. Mm-hmm. Whenever a man is successful, that's the only requirement. So it's like, why can a woman not have standards whenever she reaches that level of success? And I think it's so funny how you said that's not the only stop, because that was a pun. I was like, ooh, okay. That might not be his only stop. Like, he got multiple stops. But I think that's what Ebony was saying. So whenever Ebony said if he owns the bus, keep in mind, like, you're not just gonna go from nothing to all of a sudden owning a bus. You might drive the bus first, and then ultimately you grow into a man who owns multiple buses. And I think that's what she's saying. I think she just don't want a man who's in step one, like driving a bus. That was crazy to me.
And then you just made me think of something, because Iyanla growls on her head. Like, not you sitting over here talking about you'll date the bus driver, but you'll put your stash to the side. Like, girl, you don't even trust him. So why are we having a conversation? Like, I'm like, why are we having this conversation? Why you ask this lady this question?
From Angela said it, though. She said Iyanla is in the latter part of her life. What she needs from a man is not the same as a 20, 30, or even 40-year-old needs.
Ooh, and I think that she need another woman to help her out.
Okay, thank you. She just said that last month. That's what I thought. Mm-hmm. So this was it for me. So I felt like that was the difference in what Ebony was saying. Owns the bus driver, you want not the bus driver, owns the bus, you want him to already be established. And Iyanla don't give a fuck, okay? She just needs a companion. When you are grinding and you in the age where you need to like build a life and you want a certain standard of life, you're not looking for only companionship. So it was ridiculous to me that people were upset with her about that, and then her trying to impress that tone upon her, and you could tell Ebony was like, but at the end of the day, Ebony was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
No, that's real. That is too funny.
I thought it was funny because Iyanla said at the very beginning of the clip, our expectations are not where they need to be for who we are and who the men in our community are. And I would like for her to expound upon that, because who the fuck are we if I can expect somebody to be more than a bus driver if I am a lawyer? If I am a lawyer, why can't I want a fucking lawyer or someone that is on that same tax bracket level as me? Because the thing that Iyanla doesn't talk about, and nobody ever talks about, is how when you do this Tyler Perry struggle love shit with these niggas, they resent you for making more money than them.
Right.
And then they require you lie about it to people. They require that you shrink yourself so that they don't feel emasculated, which is such bullshit, because how is your manhood always dependent upon somebody outside of yourself? I don't fucking know. But it always relies on the woman to make all of these emotional and mental sacrifices so that he doesn't feel belittled, when really you should just arise to the occasion. I often hear men say shit like, oh, she doing this for herself, so what she need a man for? She too busy being a man. She don't need a man because she takes care of herself financially. And I'm like, what is she supposed to be doing in the absence of a man? Being broke and destitute, waiting for somebody to come and save her? Like, what are you exactly expecting to be happening for grown-ass women to be doing? Waiting for some man to come and give them a lifestyle. But then when women do that, y'all call them gold diggers and say that that's wrong too.
Right.
So either accept the fact that there are a lot of Black women that strive for excellence, and there are a lot of Black men that strive for mediocrity and just getting by. And that can be okay for them. But I don't think anybody should be expected to want less than they want, because the community of Black men is in a mid-range, job for the most part. Like, get the fuck out of here. Now, don't get me wrong. Okay, my nigga don't drive a bus, but he drives some other shit. And at the end of the day, it's a great job. I don't know. I have no complaints. Like, I don't have any complaints. Okay. I personally feel like at the end of the day, like I got with somebody that I was equally yoked with because we are both college educated. We both work very hard. Like when she talks about integrity and being equally yoked in that manner, I get what she means. Because if I felt like I needed somebody to have more than me all the time, I may not have given, a chance to somebody who didn't make as much as me. So I understand because now he make more money than me. So, sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. So other things are important, but I don't think it's cool to expect a woman that's a lawyer to date a bus driver simply because you want black men to feel okay with being mediocre. And that's what I feel like is happening. Like, what level are we on exactly? If I'm college educated and I did this shit, then why can't you? Oh, girl, and that reminds me, y'all, last night I was watching Disappearing Acts, and it's an old HBO movie with Sanaa Lathan and Wesley Snipes. It's the perfect example of how they used to be trying to convince us to be with niggas who don't have shit as long as they have good dick, and they try. Like, it's the movies that make you fall in love with potential, because eventually the nigga might come and get it together, and then you'll have the perfect man who got it together and good dick. But at the beginning, girl, it's just gonna be a waste for good dick. That's what it's gonna be. So I'm gonna do that one, eventually at some point. But y'all should check that one out, because that definitely, I think, speaks to how we've been conditioned as black women to be ride or die. And then as soon as we want to put ourselves first, everybody want to be like, but you supposed to be ride or die. Bitch, no, I'm not. Get out of my face.
This next segment reminded me of how I was trying to draw the similarities. So whenever women become successful, we get people like Iyanla in this conversation trying to humble them and who they date. But we know, especially with the black athletes and just men in general, when they become successful, they don't try to find a mate that's financially equal, but they try to find somebody that's out of their league physically, because women's value is in physical nature, men's is in what they can do, right? So we never require black men to humble themselves with the mate that they choose. Like, just choose somebody good for you or go back and choose another black woman. Majority of the time, they try to choose somebody exotic. So I just, all in all, think that this was an unhealthy conversation for Iyanla to have, and an unhealthy impression that she tried to put on her. And I hope she don't spread this to nobody else. Just because ultimately we're going to end up losing. Like, as women, black women specifically, we're going to end up, what are we going to get from that? Oh, you muted, Bondi.
Sorry. We've already been doing that. That's why I'm looking at her like, so we haven't been riding and dying and taking care of niggas this whole time. That's not what we've been doing, because I feel like that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, it's gonna be an L.
For sure.
We not strong. Okay, we don't want to be strong.
You know what's crazy though? My mom, I feel like she has that same mindset, because Disappearing Acts was her movie. And when I tell you, I called her 30 minutes in, like, nah, ma'am, you need to explain to me why you used to like this movie like this. Okay? Because my mom is one of those very loving, saving people, but my pa was no bum. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was somebody that was exemplary at finding a way to get paper and, finding a way to access and be in the right rooms and shit, all of that. So it's crazy to me that she has such a threshold of understanding for people when her standards were already very high. You see what I'm saying? Like, she would have dealt with a lot of shit, but she wasn't going to deal with somebody that could not provide. And more than just, like, both husbands were really great providers. They may have fucked up in other areas, but excellent providers. So I be looking at her sometimes like, so like, she don't tell you, to be with somebody that's a bum or anything. But she had that same Iyanla type compassion for men, because they always see black men like somebody that the world just hasn't given the proper chance to, and they keep getting knocked back. They try and they get knocked back. So it's God's grace for some woman to come along and give them chance after chance to fuck up with her, because the world is beating them up so bad in the process. And I just feel like they forget about the portion where black women kind of go through the same racial issues that black men go through, and still somehow manage to take care of ourselves. So what's going on?
I think ourselves and kids,
baby boy,
and them. So I think it's the coddling, and I think that's the real issue. Because to me, whenever you tell a nigga sink or swim, they either gonna sink or swim. But you can't hold them up and tell them to sink or swim. You gotta let them motherfuckers drown or learn how to swim. And to me, that's what I feel like men really respond to in real life: sink or swim. That's why women have to have hard boundaries and expectations, because if they don't, niggas will take advantage of them not having those boundaries and expectations. They'll give as little as they can possibly give. So yeah, nah.
And I think it's interesting. Like Ebony's comment was about all men, but to be real, we know that the backlash is a Black thing or community thing.
Because nobody gets mad at white women for being with men that are better than Buzz. Y'all don't ask for white women to take their standards down a peg or two.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why I have to say that, because like initially the conversation wasn't specifically about Black people, but like that's where the backlash came from. And as Black women, that's what we have to address, basically.
And Ebony was mad specifically at Iyanla for what she said on a Breakfast Club about women being aggressive, men in skirts or some shit like that. And I remember when she said that, and I feel like there may be some truth to that. But where I get offended is feeling like I'm tired of y'all making taking care of yourself a masculine trait, when I feel like it's an adult trait. I recently did some, you know how you fall down a rabbit hole, and I get into like Greek, Greek society, because a lot of the society in America comes from the Greeks. And their understanding of man versus woman, they really put women in the child seat. And so now that we're all in this society and y'all like to make anything masculine is a woman providing for herself. Like that's what Iyanla said. Men are providers, women are creators. So we're supposed to sit and meditate on finding a nigga to provide and wait for that to come to us. That's the advice she, because Ebony was like, listen, at the end of the day, Black women are the ones that outpace everybody in college degrees and opening businesses and making more money. Not even Black women, women period, are outpacing men when it comes to making money in major cities. So what are we supposed to do when that's the dynamic that we're working with, where we're rising to the occasion and they're not? And Iyanla's advice is that women are creators and men are, protectors and providers. And those are the roles that we're supposed to be in. But I feel like she's trolling, honestly, because I've read many.
You think she's trolling, or you think? Listen, I think that's how she feel. That's how women her age be feeling.
Nah, I'm with Bondi. I legit was sitting here listening to Bondi, thinking to myself, like, I think that Iyanla thrives on unpopular opinion.
Now,
I think that when you tell her stuff, she likes to go against what you're saying, because to her, in my personal, is winning the war of your mind to think like her. You know what I'm saying? It's giving a tactic of manipulation a little bit. So
to see if I'm good, if I can manipulate you in this setting, then I'm good. I did my job.
Do y'all remember the episode of You're right. She does do that. That's what you just made me think of. I'm glad y'all said that. Did y'all watch the episode of Fix My Life with Kiana Moses?
Yeah, the girl that was
one of my biggest videos.
Kamaya Moses, the one that was kidnapped.
She and Kamaya went off on her.
Yeah,
I remember seeing the episode again years later. Like when I first watched, I was like, "Kamaya, why are you cussing her out?" But then she was doing the most. But when I watched it back years later, I could see where Kamaya was coming from, because Iyanla would not get up off the brakes. Like if she was raised as one person, you cannot like drill into her brain that she's somebody else. So it was just crazy. And what that episode to me was her manipulating her into that thought. And I think Iyanla got more frustrated that Kamaya wasn't seeing her point of view. And that's where all that came from. Like it was an episode.
Watch that again.
Yeah, right? It was an episode of pure manipulation, in my opinion, because now I feel like I kind of see where the girl came from, like her point of view. And she does do that. And just now, like once you said that, you're right. She does. I can see her doing that.
I'm going to tell you why, for real, I feel like she's trolling. because I feel like I've read many of her books, y'all. This lady was very influential in me growing up as a teenager. And a lot of what she taught is being independent and taking care of yourself. And I do believe there's a part of this where older women don't require as much because they may have their things. So what they require is different. But I still feel like she's trolling because I can specifically remember her like not advocating for this type of shit. Like, take accountability, take responsibility. If somebody isn't on the level they're supposed to be, then maybe they're not supposed to be in your life type of thing. Like, this is the type of shit that I would hear her talk about before. She's also lost like a lot, like lost her money, and now she turns that into this bullshit she's talking about. But she does a lot of studying in African tradition and African spirituality, and none of the way African people like, and I'm just saying, I'm making a broad generalization, but in like pre-slavery, there were different identifications for women. The way we identify women and men now comes from European mindsets on things. The way they felt about women, the way they felt about men, the way they felt about the family dynamic and the hierarchy in society. Everybody, if you do enough Googling, you'll know that a lot of African civilizations were matriarchal societies. Women had rights. Women had power. Women had, women were fucking, warriors and shit in Africa. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on now. So we did not come from a society or an environment where women are expected to be less in order to be seen as a woman, because you're seen as an adult, and sometimes being an adult means having to be aggressive in certain situations, having to take care of people, having to take care of children, defend children. Like, think about in the animal kingdom, what fucking female animals have you seen not be aggressive when it comes to protecting their children? That's not a masculine trait to be aggressive or protective of your kids or oneself, but that's the way they make it seem. That is we're in survival mode a lot of the times, and that's what we really need to start calling it, survival mode. But stop acting like women are acting like men when you know for a fact that the way we categorize women now is very Eurocentric. So when she was talking, I was like, I know you full of shit, because I know you studied a lot of African spirituality, and most African like dynamics back in the day, the women were the matriarchs. They're the ones that gave people the information. So that's why I was just kind of like, I don't believe what she's saying right now. It seems like you're trolling so that whatever you have going on can pop off. Is your podcast not doing as good because you're not on television anymore? Like, I feel like it's giving that. And now I have to get on the radio and do interviews and say things that might, cause an uproar, but fit with the old bitch mindset that I might have at this point if people aren't paying attention. But I've been paying attention to the lady. So that's why I feel like, I don't know what you got going on right now, but it's on some bullshit.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to keep watching, because I'm sure another clip is gonna come out from another interview, and we'll see if she keep that same mindset. But I feel like this is a great way to transition into some bullshit, and that is Brian McKnight, y'all.
One less cry, one less cry. Girl, that song just came on. I'm sorry.
Girl, he need to start back at 1.
Those songs meant nothing.
Anytime, what do I ever? Okay, I don't know the words, but yeah. This man is trending again, y'all. I feel like, I know for a fact he was trending back in December when he first posted a picture of his stepdaughter. But, more people on the internet are now just realizing who this man is. Let me say that. Okay, so pretty much the issue is Brian McKnight was trending on Twitter. This man has 4 biological children from previous relationships, and I gotta say the kid's name: Brian Jr., Brianna, Nico, and Clyde. Now, if you go to this man's Instagram, he is only claiming his stepchildren, which are the children that he has in this new marriage. But the craziest part is that he named his newborn child that was born back in January, Brian Jr., as though he doesn't already have another son named Brian McKnight Jr.
What a fucking clown.
Yes, he does not acknowledge any of the 4 children from his previous relationships. Now, let me read this post so y'all see what sparked people to talk again. So this is a post from Brian McKnight. I think this post was from February. And he said, "Today we celebrate you, Jules, on your birthday. Your mom and I couldn't be prouder of you, and I couldn't ask for a better daughter than you. Happy birthday to the best daughter ever. Love you a zillion." Now, it was another post where he said, "Thanks for making me a girl dad," as though he doesn't already have a daughter named Brianna. So it's just very sickening to me that this man literally just started over, started back at 1. Okay,
basically.
Like, I am disgusted. Okay, but let me give y'all even more context to what has happened. So I saw an interview clip from him where he was mentioning how all his prior songs that he wrote before didn't have any emotion tied to him. Any song that was a love song, he never felt nothing before until he met the wife who he's with now. Like, nothing mattered before. And it was very passive in the way he said it, because you could tell that the statement he made wasn't purely just about music. It was pretty much him saying that he's never felt any love, like, truly, until he met his wife. And I can go ahead and make a broad statement and say that that's love for his children as well, because he don't claim them. So back in 2021, Brianna, his daughter, his real biological daughter, not his stepdaughter, had to take this man to court for defamation because he was spreading rumors that she had an incestuous relationship with her older cousin. She ended up winning the case.
Hold on, Brian said this about her?
Yes. Yep. Brian McKnight said this about his daughter, Brianna, that part of the reason why he don't fool with them is, number one, because they ungrateful. He's never been late on a child support payment, but they feel entitled. And number two, that his daughter allegedly had an incestuous relationship with her cousin. She took him to court and won.
Wow.
I'm going to just tell you that I knew it was Brian McKnight's fault when he only had those children in his bio on Instagram. I was just like, oh, wow, this is you. Because I don't care how fucked up your children may be. You don't act as if they are not yours and only name kids that biologically aren't yours. Like, that's weird as hell to me. He seems like a narcissist. He seems like the type of person to pretend to be a good guy when really he's the fucking devil. Because I can't imagine in what world would a good father do any of the shit we just heard.
Exactly. You know, it makes me think about Drea. When she said her wholeness is deleted, it makes me feel like he's in that space of my blackness is deleted. Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. I'm disgusted, but some part of me is not surprised because I truly feel like last year around this time, we were hearing an issue with him and one of his sons.
Yes.
Didn't one of his sons air him? Okay, so one of his sons did air him out. Like, I'm so fucking mad and disappointed. And number one, those are your kids. You absolutely disgust me. Like, why would you sit up there and name this child Brian Jr.? And if you leave anything to any of your kids, that's going to be conflict right there. Well, we know you're probably not going to leave the black kids nothing, but if Brian Jr.'s name is a beneficiary of anything, he's going to be having conflict with this fucking child. And then I feel a way about the woman because I'm like, ma'am, you didn't want to impress upon him to change this baby's name? To not do no shit like that. Like, you didn't want to, you can't make him do nothing, but did you at least, impress upon him to not do that shit?
No, she's all smiles, thinking that he's the great guy that he shows her to be. Meanwhile, he treats the other family like shit. And that daughter, Brianna, is not his first wife's daughter. She accepted that daughter after he cheated on her and had her.
Now, see, listen, my other thing is, this is what disappoints me. I don't care what anyone says. The 90s was the shit. You hear me? However, it's crazy to see how toxic the 90s was.
Absolutely.
Because it be so much shit coming out. Like, they were some fools back then. Exactly. And it's like all the people that we love from back then, they truly show themselves. Like, it's disturbing and it's sad, and I really hate it for him because I really like me some Brian McKnight as far as his music. I'm trying hard to separate the music from the person. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it, but I'm trying because there are some songs that I love from who I thought he was. But
they're gonna
I'm
have
disappointed.
We're gonna need some more wedding hits to come out. We can't Step in the Name of Love. We can't Back at One. Like, somebody dropped the wedding songs.
Girl, they too busy trying to tiptoe the lines of being a rapper.
Babyface is still available, everybody. Babyface is still working. He still makes great music.
Tank may have something.
Problematic, but still makes great music.
He might have something.
Usher has some stuff.
Usher, definitely.
Yeah. There are some dead people that have some great stuff you might want to look into.
Hopefully they don't.
Boys to Men is still going up.
Boys to Men,
112.
All those people. Okay.
Now, Jagged Edge had a little issue there with one of the guys. We have to be honest here. But they're still pushing it. So I think you're right.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. I'm actually really disgusted with this man. Like, I don't even want to hear nothing from him no more.
Do y'all know what's so annoying?
That's the gag.
Huh? What's the gag?
He don't give a damn.
He don't.
And she don't either. What woman marries a man like that?
What you mean? There's a whole bunch of them.
One that's getting coin.
No, I'm gonna tell you what it is. They feel like I don't care how he treat the other women as long as he treat me nice, and it's a whole bunch of them like that. But fuck, I forgot what I was about to say. Shit, something
about music.
That nigga pop up on every fucking old TV show that you love. He's on Martin. He's on My Wife and Kids, Sister. Girl, I've been watching the Steve Harvey show back. He came up on the Steve Harvey show like 2 episodes ago. I was just watching. I'm like, get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Disappointed.
Yeah.
Yes, Mint Condition. I love Mint Condition.
I ain't gonna lie, I love that song. I'm glad Alicia Keys redid it. You'll never hear me say
that's my too.
I need to be without you. I wanna give my all.
I always think of Martin. I'll never not.
Girl, Gina crying real hard out there in the cold. Baby, just hold me. I hate him because I was a huge fan of his music. Like that Back at One album played like over and over and over again, like played from beginning to end type shit. But I always used to feel a way about the fact that he never got a Grammy, and now I realize you didn't get a Grammy because nobody likes you.
Now see, I'm gonna be honest and say I might still listen to Back at One.
You're like a
I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because a lot of the people from the 90s ain't even getting no residuals from their music because the record labels played the hell out of them.
That's true. And that might be why he ain't never felt nothing in any song he wrote before, because he wasn't getting that coin.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. One last cry. That was my shit too.
Start back at one. Listen.
Which one was it? It's been 8 days, 7 weeks, 4 some since you went away. I miss you so much. 6, 8, 12. I don't know what to say. I should be over you, but I still know better, but it's just not the same. Girl. God damn it, let me stop.
Don't know what to say. I should be over you. I should know better, but it's just like the case.
Goodbye to that man.
It's been 6 months, 8 days, 12 hours since you went away. Damn. And that's what your kids are saying right now, sir. That's what they're saying.
The kids are saying it's been 18 years since you went away. Fuck ass nigga paying child support and being a good daddy.
Yeah, the kids say they don't know why he's doing that.
That's sad.
I'm mad he thought paying child support on time and he was a good father. I was like, go straight to hell, sir. Go straight to hell, sir.
Yeah, I'm quite disgusted, but
he gonna do something else for the year over.
You think? Oh, for sure. He know people talking about him, and he still continues to every post he makes about his kids. I mean, about the stepkids. our shade to his original kids. And
That
I'm
was
like,
so disrespectful.
let it go. But all right, y'all, we're gonna get into some fashion from this year's Met Gala. All right.
Ow.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to do my best with all these names.
Okay.
This first slide is easy. I'm good on this first slide. But it was like two people where I was like, damn, I think I know their name, but I gotta show the look. Okay. So first we're gonna start out with Yara Shahidi, Doja Cat, and Dua Lipa.
Let's do a little. Now, question real quick. Are we judging them just on their styles or the overall theme of Met Gala?
Actually, that's a great question. What was the overall thing? Wasn't it Karl Lagerfeld?
Yeah.
Both. Let's do both.
Okay. Well, I do not like Yara Shahidi's look. Although she looks older and a lot of people thought she was looking super sexy and they was like, yes. For me, she gives a 90s vixen video vixen is what she gives, like a throwback video vixen. And I just really did not like it. I did not care for her hair, her makeup. I did not like the dress at all. It was nothing about it I liked. When it comes to Doja Cat, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, she was on theme for her damn self. She wasn't on theme for Karl. She came out looking like a cat. It's on brand for her, but I'm not a fan. And Dua is giving basic. So I feel like sometimes with basic, you could slide. And I'm going to give her a slide on this. She has an interesting dress on. It looks like those carpets not those carpets, but those blankets that have the little edges, like the throwback blankets. They be having the little, the shingles or whatever it is at the bottom. It looks like she has a blanket on, basically. And
It does.
And I might let her slide with that because I don't really know how to feel. I mean, really, I think everybody on this slide failed, honestly. So let me just keep it a bean. They failed. I don't like none of them.
Do we know what the theme was?
Karl Lagerfeld. Is that his name? Lagerfeld or Lagerfeld?
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. So what about Karl Lagerfeld was cat people?
None. I don't. Let me type in cats
Well,
with his name.
Whatchamacallit was wearing cats too. Lil Nas X had a cat look too, so it must be something significant.
Oh, in honor of his beloved cat. And it was another white man that walked around with a cat costume on, and he held the cat head in his hand as he walked around. So yeah, it was his cat in honor of his cat.
Okay. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say that Yara Shahidi looked like a video girl, and that's crazy, but she looked good. I think that if Doja didn't have cat face and cat ears, then I would like her outfit. The other girl, I don't like it. I'm sorry. And everybody that was wearing that specific style, I didn't like it, except for I think Cardi. But we'll continue.
What specific style? You mean corset look?
No, it's the beat, like the beating around the edge, that specific fabric, like I don't know what that fabric is called, but Serena was dressed like that too. That same fabric, kind of like a suit. It looks like, I don't know what era that's from, child, but it gives rich white lady tack. It's tacky, but rich white lady tacky, We're gonna see some more, and I'm probably gonna point it out to y'all because I don't know what it's called.
Okay. We are gonna see some more. For Yara's outfit,
Chanel tweed. Yes, the tweed. Hate the tweed. Hate it.
Tweed. Oh, Kiki was wearing tweed too, and it looked so good on Kiki.
It did. I have to agree.
But yeah, man, I'm trying to figure out my charging situation. But anyway, y'all, Yara, I liked her dress, but something about this look just didn't sit right with me for her. I felt like she looked and maybe it's just because my impression of her is like just seeing young, grownish Yara, you know? And I felt like in this, she looked much older, like the makeup aged her for some reason.
Yes.
Jamie, I see your face. Like the makeup aged her, and it almost made me wonder, like, damn, you're right. Like, you have been just playing Yara. Like, you're not Yara. I mean, well, you know, on the show, Zoe. You've been playing Zoe. You're Yara. So yeah, I think the dress is pretty. I just feel like it aged her a lot. Now, Doja Cat gonna do Doja Cat. She gonna come in costume. So I can respect it. I think the look was fine. And then Dua Lipa, I actually really liked Dua Lipa's dress, y'all. It was giving Princess Fiona. I really liked it. I liked how snatched the waist was and the fact that the dress had pockets. I did like it.
It's always the pockets, I'm telling you.
It is the pockets. I mean, it's just giving royalty. And then the necklace, the neckline, I love it. Okay, next, y'all, we got Rihanna and A$AP Rocky.
Let's just remove A$AP because I want him to jump back over the rail and leave. That's what I want him to do. Rihanna looks good. I feel like it's not too many photos we see of Rihanna where she just looked down bad. Like, I think she looks really good. She looks like royalty to me. It's giving queen in my personal. I likes it, but I do wonder if that jacket was too heavy. Like, she already carrying this baby. Like, it do seem like she got a lot of fabric on her. I probably won't want that much on me, weighing me down. But she look good. That's the short answer.
I loved it.
She could have did some of her hair more, but
yeah, I didn't like the hair. But I think the hair was done that way for the outfit because it had that hood. So her hair needed to, I guess, be a little swept up in order for it to stay in place under the hood, you know, for the unveiling. But I loved it. When she walked in, I was like, amazing. It's exactly what we were looking for at the Met Gala. I think the Met Gala had a lot of toned down looks this year. And we're so used to seeing, you know, theatrical costumage. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people were just giving us, you just going to an award show and you look good. And we wanted to see the extra. So I was glad they bought the extra. And as far as, you know, her baby daddy over there, I think he's doing what is different for Black men and what is different for him. It's I'm gonna wear a skirt and still have Rihanna pregnant. So y'all can call me whatever y'all want to, but my dick's working. So that's what it's giving.
Has he done this before?
I think
because it seems like it's definitely on brand. Okay.
Yeah, he's done this like a couple of times with the kilt for sure.
Okay. Yeah, remember he was just wearing that blanket to another award show. It wasn't a blanket, but it was like a quilted look where he was draped in a blanket and he showed up with Rihanna. I can't remember what fashion show that was. But okay, let's move on next to more men. We have Brian Tyree Henry. We have the guy from The Last of Us. Let me get his name. Pedro Pascal. And then we have Rita Ora and her husband. I think his name is Taiki Waititi. I'm pronouncing it wrong. But I really just want y'all to look at the men's because I feel like Rita Ora's husband ate her the fuck up.
Listen, I'm looking at him thinking this. Well, I wasn't thinking the same thing, but I was like, dang, he look good. I'm liking this whole little awkwardness he got going on. It's the confidence in the pose for me.
Yes.
Girl,
he ate her up.
Because somebody else had that dress on. So he definitely ate.
That was Kylie, wasn't it?
Kylie didn't have that one on.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Kylie had that red dress on. I thought y'all was talking about old boy in the middle. No, it was Zendaya. Zendaya and Rita Ora had the same dress on. The exact same dress. Their hair was styled the exact same way, almost the exact same color. Like you wouldn't have even been able to really tell them apart. It was really embarrassing. Whoever that man is, he did look good. Him look good. I like his look. It's real sexy. I like the hair. I like the beard. I like the pearls around the collar. Like it's giving androgyny, but in a sexy way. I love it. Dude in the middle, what's going on there? Do we know? No.
I think it was the last minute.
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro's a no. And I know y'all feel like Brian Michael Henry has done this a bunch of times, but I still love it. I love this. He looks like a black king. Like he looks like if the mid-century had black kings in Europe, he'd look like that.
For the man in the middle, it's giving I showed up at the last minute. I just wanted to run and hit the carpet real quick and go in and get something to eat. Yep, that's what it's giving. For the guy on the end that Bondi was just talking about, yeah, I felt like we've seen this before, sir. We've seen this at a few award shows. This is just your thing. So it was really on brand for you. But when I saw Diddy, I was like, they don't look that much different. He ain't do so bad, actually.
Yeah, we have seen the look with Brian Henry before. I feel like we just got done with one of these fashion things, and he kind of was dressed like that. And I think I said something about the taper on his pants being too wide. It looked like he fixed that because it was much wider the last go around. But I love this outfit. I think it looks great, and I love that he's stepping out and being very like artsy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in anything else recently, but he be on these red carpets.
He too, honey.
What else is he in? I gotta see. Yeah, I ain't seen him in nothing else. Oh, he's in Spider-Man. Okay. He's in Spider-Man. Now Pedro, y'all, I really like his outfit. Pedro in the middle. I love the color on it. I think he's giving leg. I think the legs look good. I like the boots. I mean, I really like Pedro's outfit, and I think it might just be the color to me. It's just very bold. So yeah, I'm gonna stick beside him on that. And then for Rita or her husband, I told y'all he ate her the fuck up. He shit in every way. He looked good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then Bondi, that picture of Zendaya was fake.
You lying?
Wait.
Yeah, Zendaya wasn't there. Social media is getting overboard with
AI.
Yes,
That's crazy. Why would they do that?
Have y'all ever thought about just the way that I've been seeing AI trend? And I'm gonna take this off for a second because I just want to ask y'all. Mm-hmm. We've been hearing AI songs from artists be dropped. Like, have y'all heard the Rihanna AI, Beyonce AI, like music they ain't even on, right? Mm-hmm. That bothers me. Plus, we got these AI graphics, like that one picture that we was talking about of like the alt Rihanna and alt ASAP. That was AI.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
that was AI. And now the Zendaya. Are y'all ever concerned that once everybody gets a hold of this technology, people do AI on your videos?
I never thought about that, but I know that that is limitless for what they can do. And I see why that man quit Google, because it's going to get crazy out here in these streets.
Mm-hmm. To me, the whole fake news thing makes that's what I don't like. I don't like how people don't understand the difference between what is a lie and what is the truth these days because of the whole fake news thing. Because I feel like when Trump started saying that, all of a sudden you can make anything that's the truth seem like a lie.
Yeah.
And I think the AI thing is an extension of that. And I don't like that. And I honestly feel like, you can make something look like somebody else, but you can't really recreate their talent in a live form. So that's what I'm going to bank on for a lot of artists. And, because we basically in the same boat as any artist, with the fact that we use our voices. So anybody can just get up there and talk like it's us, if you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If they wanted to. And I don't like that at all. And at the end of the day, like, you shouldn't be able to recreate my vocal pattern and use it to make money off of it. Like,
what's gonna happen, I think, is people are going to trademark their everything. Like, how you trademark your image, whatever. It's gonna get to a point where you're gonna have to trademark your likeness, like what you look like, and likely trademark your vocals. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And as soon as people want to do that, it's going to be a lot of lawsuits that's going to be flying out. And I think artists just have to push the button to figure out what that looks like in law. What does that look like with trademarking your sound and all of that? and it's gonna go up. It's definitely going to go up. It's gonna be a lot of lawsuits flying around.
Because that's crazy. I don't know
That's
in what
scary as
world
hell.
do they think that's gonna fly. I don't know in what world you think that's gonna fly.
And
But
it's
that's not gonna
flying
fly.
right now, though. You know, just the fact that people have even limited access to it. Like people can pin crimes on people, and I feel like this can be extremely dangerous, especially to Black people, the most targeted people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Like all kind of crimes can be pinned on these folks. So if you can do that with AI, how you think they're gonna manipulate police footage and shit? So I'm just
Okay.
it's a rabbit hole. It's really deep.
Right.
Yeah, y'all know one of my favorite shows of all time is Black Mirror. So whenever my mind automatically goes to like, okay, what's next? Like, what can they do with this? I have tons of YouTube videos that people can grab and just post stuff. Like, that's scary to me. And I really don't like it. And I do have to tell y'all this. Okay, this is off topic. I saw Kim Kardashian post a picture with North, and North had an Aaliyah graphic on. And she always got Aaliyah graphics on. She even dressed up as Aaliyah for Halloween one time. And my like pessimistic future technology mind went to, oh Lord, you better not have an Aaliyah holograph at this girl birthday party. Hologram. Just because I know that they pay for their kids to see anything. And do you remember Kanye had that hologram of her dad for her birthday? Mm-hmm. Like, I could see them doing something like that. And I pray that they don't. But when I seen her with that graphic tee on another time, like, y'all, it's just weird to me that a 7-year-old has an obsession with an artist who's no longer alive, unless the parents are provoking that. Like, I know that you like the music, but
I was obsessed with Billie Holiday as a kid. So
why do I think
no grace?
I thought North was much older.
Is she was? Ain't she the same age as Blue Ivy, basically?
Yeah. She's 7? That girl be looking like she's 13.
No, she's not 7.
Let me look her up. Northwest.
10? Blue Ivy's like 10, I think.
She's 9. She's 9.
Yeah.
That little girl, I thought she was like 13 or something.
I knew she wasn't that old. She wasn't puberty age yet because they was just babies a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I was in love with Billie Holiday when I was young, but that was because I saw Lady Sings the Blues, and for some reason the shit kind of grabbed me, and I was listening to old ass, like she's my favorite artist growing up, and then like in high school, like for my birthday one year, one of my girlfriends brought me the like anthology disc of all of her music. Like, yeah, it's a real serious thing. Like, I'm gonna give her a break.
We gonna need somebody to do something to start protecting people's like intellectual or technology property or whatever. However,
for sure.
Say that. But yeah, that was just a rant. Okay, so y'all, we also had Serena Williams show up where she announced her pregnancy. She is wearing Gucci. Number 1, tell me what y'all think about. Well, number 1, congratulations. Number 2, tell me what y'all think about the outfit.
No. Just no. I don't like anything that Serena does ever since that she got with the white man. No disrespect. I wanted her to be with the white man. I just don't want her to start dressing like a black woman that doesn't want to be black, or an old African lady that, tries to basically base her beauty standards on white women's beauty standards. Like they don't take care of themselves like black women take care of themselves, kind of like Condoleezza Rice. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you obviously get your hair perm, but I don't know who's doing it because the edges aren't reflecting the perm. Yeah, I that's what she gives to me a lot of times, Serena. I don't know what's going on. She look happy, and I'm happy she's happy. Like, that's great. But ever since she got with him, her style has decreased significantly to me. Wigs, dresses. Like, do y'all remember how fire she used to be? Like, during her like Drake single years.
Yeah.
It was always something bronzed and, some big, beautiful hair, some fitted dress that made her body look amazing. Now I just be looking at her sometimes like, girl, who, why, where, and what for,
I question whether this is actually who she is versus who we thought she was. I wonder. I don't know if he had like an impact on who she is now, possibly, but
Well,
I just kind of question it.
You
like,
mean Bodycon Serena?
Yeah, like everything that Bondi's naming, I'm wondering if she just did that because she thought that's something that we wanted to see. Whereas the whole time, this has been her. This is what she really likes. And she went and found somebody that accepts her wholeheartedly exactly as she is. And Slick probably hypes her up and be like, babe, wear it. Like, you look good. And if that's what you want to do that shit.
That's unfortunate because he's hyping her up wrong. But you know, I'm just saying.
He gonna hype her up. He gonna hype her up. You know how people be joking and then they be saying, if you want to find a white man, make sure you get you a wig and mess it up real bad.
Good.
Have y'all heard that before?
No, but that makes no much sense.
No, yeah, because it's always this is not about Serena, so let me go ahead and take this off screen. But for real, they be saying like all the black girls that I knew who actually used to pull white dudes, they leave out never blended. That's what leave out was never blended for whatever reason. It's something about it's something about it. I have no idea.
Oh my god! Yeah, I hated her outfit.
I also feel like
could have done better with that.
Be too light too.
Yes, it does. It does.
Light. The hair look like it's not done by nobody black. Like I don't know what's going on, but I just miss the way she used to look before because she used to just be serving up looks. Like early, 2010s. Let me see. 2015. Let me see. Yeah. I don't know, girl.
I don't know what happened.
Because I want y'all to look her up in 2015. Because this don't even make no sense. Girl, what happened? Girl, what happened? It's not age. Don't blame the baby. Hold up, y'all. I'm about to put some pictures in our chat so y'all can see what I'm talking about because this don't make no sense. Oh damn, I can't because it's in web thing. God damn it. I'm gonna send y'all a link though, and you can pull up the link and see it.
Yeah, she must got a different team. She must not be working with the same people no more.
I sent y'all a link.
Cool. Let me show you.
It's because white dudes don't be caring. They don't. And it feel like because they don't care, you're allowed to not care anymore. So if you never really cared, he's going to make you feel comfortable not to care. And then you're going to come out in front of black people and we're going to be like, girl, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. She looked good at the Oscars last year.
Literally. That's literally a picture that like similar style that I was looking at with her with the black hair. And the edges and the shit is slicks. We ain't seen her hair this slicks and she got with that white boy. What's going on?
She had a nicer look last year at the Oscars, I believe it was.
Let's go look. Hold up.
Pull up Serena Oscars 2025. I mean 2020.
Girl,
too far ahead. God damn. 2022.
You know what? She looks okay, but her makeup is still too light. The wig is still not giving what it could have gave in comparison to her 2015, 2016 type looks.
Oh, okay. I remember this look, y'all. Here, I'm about to share. We talked about this. We actually reviewed that. Y'all remember?
We did. I remember.
We reviewed that. Here, I'm about to pull it up.
Her face looked weird too.
Girl, did y'all see Gabrielle Union face though? Child, what's going on?
No, please don't tell me she fucked with it.
I feel like she did. I'm finna send y'all the video.
Gabrielle, no, your face has been the same since the 90s.
Even with the photo that I saw her take, I was like, something off about her. Then I saw the video. I said, oh, it's giving Botox, but you missed your chin or something.
Don't you miss your chin?
I'm gonna send it to y'all right now. And it's
okay. Send a video while you do.
I'm sending the video. I just sent it.
Here. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, while I pull up that video, y'all go ahead and talk about the next round of looks.
Okay, let me go back.
Oh, let me do it. All right. So, first of all, Lil Nas X, no. Like, yes, because we needed extra. You know what I'm saying? Like, we needed extra. We needed something weird. It's the Met Gala. It's supposed to be weird and avant-garde. And he gave us weird and avant-garde. And his body is amazing. But I also feel like I think Lil Nas X is a beautiful man. Like his face, his lips, his body, I think he's beautiful. And so when I've seen him do looks and I felt like, oh, and then I see him do this, I'm like, yeah, we appreciate you for the extra at the Met Gala, but I would have preferred to have a ooh moment from you. And this is not giving a ooh moment. Now, Janelle. To me, I feel like Janelle is playing on all of the shit that people be talking about her. I can remember not too long ago, she was talking about not being, a gender, her gender identity, whatever the fuck. She's bisexual. She got, got a whole bunch of shit going on with her. Y'all know the girls is out here open-minded. They don't like to be put in boxes, child, whatever. Okay. Janelle talked about that. People were in the comments talking about how don't nobody listen to her music no more. And, she, because of the way she used to dress, they would always talk about how, because she wore tuxedos and all of that type of shit, they really wasn't paying her no mind, even though
Monopoly
she was
Man.
Huh?
They said she dressed like Monopoly Man.
Yeah, she dressed like Monopoly Man. She was giving us all this amazing music and concepts and all this great shit. I love Janelle's music. And they weren't really paying her no mind. And recently she started taking off her clothes. Y'all are paying attention to her, but now y'all are acting like, it's the fall of the Black woman because she's showing off her body. And I love it. And I think it played like this whole costume that she did in the unveiling and everything. I think it played on what people have been saying about her. Like, oh, y'all don't want me to dress in the suits. You want me to be naked. You want me to wear a dress. You want me to look like a woman. And then you're still going to judge me for being naked. So I loved it. I love the concept. I love the look. I think her body looks amazing, which is really what makes this look. And I also felt like we were talking about how bored we were. And I think when she showed up was probably the first time I was like, all right, then give me something to look at. Shit.
Listen, Janelle was giving everybody something to look at that bar when she was up there on that stage. She was up there popping that thing and stuff.
She'd be my girlfriend. And I heard she a Sagittarius. Yeah, girl. We'd have a really great love affair for a few months.
And listen.
All right, I got Gabby.
Call me,
Let's see
Janelle.
what you talk about.
Okay, let's see.
Black man.
It
feels complete. It feels like he loves every part of me, all the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, the painfully average, but he loves me differently. You know what I mean? When he was talking about like how he loves when Esther does my face, he said, I love how she looks at you. I love how she sees you. And that's what it is to be loved by a Black man. He sees all of you.
Okay.
I don't know about all Black men, but
what is it like to be loved by a
I like my Black man. Black man, Black man.
I don't know. Something about Gabby and Dwayne irked me.
Sorry.
They just, everything about them just seemed real performatory. And it does not have to do with Zaya. Let me say that. I know somebody gonna make it seem like it's a passive statement against Zaya. It doesn't have to do with that. Like even before all that, I felt like even before all that, I felt like they was real performatory. But here, I'm gonna put in 2 more looks because I didn't think we was gonna use this much time. But let me put in 2 more looks because we still gotta talk about shows and gossip.
Let me say this though about Gabrielle Union and D Wade. They look like some fucking villains. Okay, they look like vampires in Beverly Hills or some shit like that at the Met Gala. But I also like their strangeness. I think she accepts the fact that he isn't your average man. He's a little androgynous himself. Right. And I think she loves that about him. And she has her very like cool bitch-like energy that a lot of people don't like. I love them. Like I know they're weird and I do feel like they might put on for people, but essentially I feel like I think they still get each other in a way that other people don't get them. Like I think they really like fuck with each other regardless of the performing for everybody's sake. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because they're both weird, like they're both different types of Black people for the status quo. And in another reality, both of these people end up with somebody white. Like, let's just be clear. Gabrielle Union ends up with some cool ass white dude that's kind of grungy. And he ends up with some white girl that allows him to, be this weird and doesn't judge him. So the fact that they ended up with two chocolate colored Black people, I feel like they can be as weird as possible. And I would still love to see them fuck.
Sometimes I question how much she really likes him. I feel like she may have in the beginning, but I just don't really be seeing it. Like I just be feeling like I'm tied up in it now, and
That part, Jamie.
like we're a package deal is what I was thinking of. So we present to the people what we present to the people, but I just be wondering if she really like him like that for real.
Why wouldn't she?
The other thing is, I feel like they just like to go against the grain.
I do believe
they
that.
like to go against the grain, and I think she likes that for headlines. So I think it hypes her up even more to step on a red carpet and try to go against stereotypical norms and take like more of the masculine dress when she steps on these carpets and have him dressed in something more androgynous, like you said.
They put men and women together, I have no doubt.
What's so funny to me though is like, I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all what really bothered me.
Go ahead.
I say it all the time. Specifically, what took me out is whenever he had this break baby. And I feel like they do so much performing in their lives and showing different aspects because they know people are going to talk about it. Down to before people was really talking about eating ass, she was on the blogs talking about she eat Dwayne's ass. Like, because you like that attention. You was doing all that type of stuff, but when it came to this baby, I felt like y'all did a lot of skirting around. Like, oh, it was a break baby. Now y'all discuss the baby, but y'all are putting other things on the forefront. So that's what I don't like, and that's what don't sit right with me about them.
Yeah, something's off. That I just don't really see the genuineness in the relationship for real. But it's just me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Somebody.
Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all. Me and Lyric are having a conversation about whether I would eat his ass or not.
Oh, whoa.
What'd you say?
He laughing so hard.
Hilarious.
Okay. No, because I love Lyric. I'm married to Lyric. I would do whatever Lyric wanted me to do within reason. But I personally feel like I'm not trying to do that, and you haven't asked me to do that, but I'm enough of a freak to do it. Like I know you wash yourself, so I know you're clean. We have baby wipes in every bathroom in this house, so
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not trying to do it, but I'm also kind of
not trying to do it.
Right.
Like it's not. I'm not looking forward to it. Like, oh, I can't wait to eat your ass or anything like that.
Right.
That's
in the back screaming, girl.
But I also feel like nigga, let me do shit that like I guess I'm open. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I love you though. I know you. I don't know him, so I wouldn't. I'm not eating his ass. But I know you. I don't know him.
That's real love. Wait, ain't Summer Walker said in her song, if it ain't real, it ain't real love if you ain't ate my ass. Have you heard her say that?
I have not heard her say that.
She says that in Purple Hearts with Kendrick Lamar.
Oh no, ma'am. I don't want that type of love. Don't put your tongue in that. Like,
I don't want that. I don't want that love.
Goodness.
Summer Walker gonna go to hell. That's why she with Lil Meech right now. She needs some blood for punishment.
Oh, girl and Barry sing.
Super.
Okay. Okay. I wanted to show y'all. We got this look, and then we're gonna talk about Diddy and Young Miami.
Yes.
I could not pass this up because I wanted to talk about let's get honey. I wanted to talk about Mary J. Blige, y'all. She looks so good. And then we got Kerry Washington, and then we have Michaela Cole from Chewing Gum. She got some other stuff too, but that's what I know her from. So, what y'all think about the fits?
What's her name? Michaela.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like her fit. I feel like she looks like a goddess to me. I don't like her shoes though. I hate closed toe.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice them.
I'm like, girl, you could have showed us a little bit of toe action, honey. But anyway,
that's so funny. One foot doesn't look closed toe.
Does it not?
Yeah, one
must be somebody the one closer to the left foot.
Yeah, the left foot. Yeah, I think I see toes.
No, it look like they closed to me. The gold closed toe. She cute though.
Oh, they look like that because they're like, you can see the imprint of toes designed into the closed toe shoe. That's why you can see that.
Oh,
that's what it is. Okay. Kerry Washington gonna typically eat. It don't really matter what she got going on. Body is yes, ma'am. I thought she looked great. I like this. It looks like she has waves or something like the big waves. I think she looks really nice. I like the whole fit, like in this choker. I ain't seen nobody wear a choker in a minute, but I think she looks really good. And of course, Mary J look good. All this blue. Okay, Mary, we see you. I like it. Nice print. I think Mary did what she needed to do.
That's
So
should have went to for some Botox.
Somebody said her shoes are toes. Girl, what?
Yeah, her shoes are toes. They are.
why you laughing? Okay.
Son.
I don't like her shoes neither. We just gonna leave it at that. Whether they're toe shoes, two show, like I don't know what's going on. But she does look like a mermaid. She like an African mermaid, and I love it. Like she just came out the water, like an African mermaid princess or some shit like that. She looks beautiful. Carrie, I love Carrie's look. I like honestly, I would wear Carrie's look. Like I will wear that, like without a doubt. I love it, head to toe. She ate. Mary, what is going on in this dancery? Because you look like curtains. I don't like it, Necey. It's too matchy. It's too matchy. And I don't like the hair neither. I don't know. What is there a ribbon in your hair? Why is there a fucking ribbon in your hair, Mary? What's going on? If the hair were different, I might feel different about the look, but it's too matchy. And I also feel like it's too on par for what Mary does every time. And it's the Met Gala. I would like for you to do something that's not your average everyday concert look, because it's how you be at your concerts, bitch. Like it's the Met Gala. Do something else. But you know, Mary always looked good because she just looked good.
Right. And that's what I was hyped about.
But because she look good, she beautiful. She looks. You know why? Because for so many years we got to see coked out Mary sweating every time we saw her, and now she together and clean and just always look good. So we always so grateful for it. But I'm tired, Mary. We're gonna have to talk about some of these tacky looks that you come through with that we give you a break on because you look so good. Like no. Get this sofa out of my face.
Not sofa. Okay. All right. So now, y'all, we're gonna get into Diddy and Young Miami.
His mama reincarnated. Yes, ma'am.
I have to say, I love Young Miami's look. I saw a lot of people try to do the pearls. Lizzo did the pearls, which I was not a fan of the way she did it. But I really like the way that Young Miami did it. I think she looked good. It's giving elegant. I like it, especially with that big fur thing around her. Diddy, I really didn't even pay no attention to this man. He's just wearing all black. And this was the only picture, because I know we was talking about, Bonnie, you said you hardly see Young Miami smile. She was smiling in this picture. So I was like, okay, I gotta post this one.
Thank you, because she don't smile in no other pictures. I think she was happy to be there, but I don't think she happy. I don't care what she talking about. The fact that the vampire was able to pull you back into his fucking lair, just makes me feel sad for you. We about to go through another cycle, but girl, we understand. It's okay. I think she looks amazing. I do hate her, fake hip, booty area. I wish that, sometimes I wish the girls would have left their bodies alone, because when people be trying to dress them for these occasions, regular bodies look better to me. Like, because sometimes y'all look like caricatures instead of like, beautiful women that y'all are. Y'all just kind of look like, I don't know, like a movie where we making fun of how crazy people are in the future. Like that's what this shit be reminding me of. Like people have lost their damn minds looking like
Jessica Rabbit in real life.
Yeah.
Like, and to be real, if you ever seen Jessica Rabbit in real life, you probably run away from her ass because she probably looks scary as hell.
Hell yeah, that one eye looking at you, blinking and shit. Like, girl, But Carisha looks amazing. The thing that I loved about this outfit, this feather encasing, it looks like back in the day when you would go and get your pictures done under soft lighting, and they would have like a feathered kind of like bed for you to put your arms on, and it would just have a shot of your face and it would highlight your face. It looks like this outfit was meant to highlight her face. And that is what I think is so beautiful about it. There were so many pictures where she was perfectly lit. So it seemed like she was walking around like Morticia Addams. Y'all notice how on Addams Family, Morticia Addams' face is always lit in a certain area. Everything else is dark. But right up under her eyes and in her face area is lit like she got light on her. And that's like the vibe. I think she killed it. She killed it. Diddy was nice.
I think Carisha looks beautiful as she always do. I think what made me like the outfit more than anything, just for me, was the fact that they show her true complexion. And I appreciate that.
Hilarious.
I love it. I like the fur, what she has going around her shoulders, the dropping of the pearls. And I'm really liking this whole train action she got at the bottom. Like, I think Carisha did a good job with this. And I think Diddy definitely complimented her as well. So I think they did a good job together on that carpet.
Everybody's calling it out, y'all. Glamour shots. Thank you so much for reminding me, because that's what it was. I think my era was the last era that really did the glamour shots. You would go and take the pictures and they would be all fuzzy and shit. Child, the original filter.
Yeah.
Salty the shit out of them pictures.
I got a question for y'all. As far as this pairing, do y'all think they go together real bad?
Do I think what?
Feel like they do. Even when she say they don't, he's saying they do. So I think real bad they do.
Did he say they do?
Just off of the fact that he went back and grabbed her and she's showing up on the carpet with him.
Because
and was sitting on the subway with him too.
Because otherwise she wasn't invited. Like, this JT wasn't there, right?
And who that?
Oh,
JT.
She seemed like she too cool to go there with that shit. Her and
JT don't try to be nowhere.
Uzi. Yeah, they ain't gonna go nowhere.
But see, I don't think that. I think Uzi has been there before, hasn't he? I think Uzi's been before. But either way, I still feel like Carisha is giving more of a, a celebrity, what they call them, y'all? Paris Hilton and them,
Oh,
socialite. Yes. She's giving more of a socialite vibe. But I feel like she wanted to go to the Met Gala, and that's why she went with him. But I really don't. I think she like him. Don't get me wrong. But I think the relationship is toxic like we thought it was, based on some of the things we've seen her say in interviews when she was being honest about her feelings and shit. This was a great opportunity. I'm not passing up going to the Met Gala. This nigga got a ticket. She was the extra. So I'm more than sure he got invited and brought her versus she getting invited and he got invited. Like, I don't think that. I think, he worked that out for her. And that was a way to get her back because she knew that was good for her career and for what she's trying to do. But I think she wasn't really trying to fuck with him. And he gave her this opportunity. So here she is.
Listen, I ain't mad at him for,
I ain't
pulling her on through. Because one thing he gonna do, he be showing up for her child.
All right, let's go ahead and ask Diddy what he got to say.
I have the $1 million question right now. You ready for it? The $1 million question is, so do y'all officially go together real bad? I'm asking. I want to know.
She gonna answer that.
I have the $1 million question right now. You ready for it? The $1 million question is, so do y'all officially go together real bad? I'm asking. I want to know.
She gonna answer that.
You not answering.
He was sweating his ass off.
What you asking me exactly. We definitely go together real bad.
Then that's what it is. Then that's what it is.
She's my date for the night.
It's just a good date night.
It's like date night.
We don't put titles on it. Everybody wants us to put a title on. We don't put titles on it. This is like my best friend in the world. One of the most beautiful people God has blessed me to meet. And I'm blessed that she's my date tonight. Absolutely. Can I get like a little napkin for my forehead? Damn, I'm sweating.
And maybe y'all onto something. No titles.
That new Botox.
For sure. No titles might be it. That might be it.
He got fresh Botox.
Child, listen.
Can I tell y'all what I saw?
What you see?
So, like I said, I see somebody that I think when she did that interview, I think they might have been obligated already to do it, first of all. I also feel like he manipulated her into going along with the We Still Together version of this. But when she did that interview and talked about how they was not together, she meant that shit. I think that he's able to pull on her strings, but the way he was sweating and not answering that question, to me, it gives we're really not together like that. But I like to pull on her to show that I can still control her. She's young. I can offer her more than she can get for herself right now, even though she can get a lot for herself.
Or from a lot of these niggas, he can offer her more.
Period. But to me, it ain't even about other niggas, because to me, Carisha is doing better than most of the niggas she know anyway. So she could have done a lot of these things for herself, but this echelon, Met Gala and all of that, that is Diddy's world. And I feel like that was his way of pulling her back in, because I think she was kind of feeling done with him. I think he embarrassed her. And it's one thing to act like we all good, but you having babies publicly on me, and I can pretend like I know, but that shit's still embarrassing. I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. You the person being seen, and this nigga just debuted a new fucking baby. Like, that's embarrassing. And I think no matter how you try to slice it, she felt a way about all of the shit that was going on and probably took some space. And this was the opportunity for him to, you know, snatch her back up so they can do it all over again.
Yeah.
It's not gonna last.
How he answered the question and without a period at the end and said, "Can you hand me a towel over there? I'm sweating." Like, he was just trying to get it off his chest. Like, let me hurry up and answer this real quick.
He had new Botox in his face, y'all. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but his face was extremely full. And I know what Diddy looks like, y'all.
It's crazy though, because you don't sweat with Botox.
You don't?
You're not supposed. No, people. It's a new trend of black girls.
Is it filler? It's probably filler.
It might be filler, but it's a new trend of black girls getting Botox around their hairline, so your edges won't sweat out.
You know, I want to get it so my underarms don't sweat. I actually went and got like the prescription secrets, you know, deodorant, and that has seemed to work. I haven't been sweating like that since I started using that one. But I still wanted to go and get that Botox, girl, because the sweating under the lights, like I don't sweat as much when I'm working out under my arms as I do once I sit down to do a video under the light. I don't know what that's about.
That direct, yeah. Well, Jamie, you got any other thoughts about the two?
I don't have no thoughts. I wish them the best. I think they're going to continue this roller coaster ride for the rest of the year. I mean, it did give me the energy of Miami being done with him, kind of pissed off as I saw her response. Because when he was like, "Yeah, we go together real bad," she was like, "I mean, it's just a nice little date night. It's giving like I don't f with you right now, and you know that, and you owe me X, Y, Z, and Z, and Z, and you're gonna have to pay me back in this type of way."
The little rock she was doing, absolutely, it's not. Listen, I
don't know. It's giving. She slick run him a little bit.
You think so?
That's how I was giving. Like, we might be thinking Diddy in charge, but Miami could be calling the shots.
I'm gonna say, as a younger woman, I think that she knows how to say "fuck that nigga" and pull her energy away. But I also feel like Diddy is old school with this shit. And as much as we could think she got control in a respect, to me, he the type of person that lets you think that until he don't want to let you think that no more. And he move on to the next one, because he's still, in essence, Diddy. And she Carisha, but Cassie was Cassie, and still Diddy is Diddy. So, you know, there's a level to this where I feel like she has her moments to run it, but it's the moments he wants her to have.
He lets her have. Damn.
Like that.
Well, you know, that kind of just made me think about the Scotts. So I think it's time to get into TV talk.
Okay.
All right, y'all. We've been through 2 more episodes of Love and Marriage Huntsville since we took a week off. Last week, really, the last episode really was just this back and forth between Kiki and Tiffany. Kiki is finding a way to blame everybody for the shit that she was low-key perpetrating, or high-key, because it was a lot she didn't say, and she was being messy, and she's under the impression that everybody just got her confused. So as far as Kiki coming back and saying everybody just blew up what she was saying. I want to know y'all thoughts on Kiki.
It's given I want to be on the show and I'm a fight for my spot, Carlos. Is what it's given. Because her having an issue with Kimmy seemed like, girl, please, you know good and goddamn well that it was gonna make it back to Letitia, whether Kimmy said something or not. Letitia was gonna feel a way about you being at Mel's house and talking about her marriage with Marcel. So to me, that's some bullshit. You just trying to have a moment on the reality show. I think Tiffany is trying to make sure she keep her spot because they got a baby coming. So she needed to make sure that she put 20 on 10 with her feelings about Kiki being, not loyal. And I think Stormy, it was the same thing. I think all of the newbies were there to collect their check and prove that they could be valuable in this space. So they created arguments where we didn't need any. Because to me, a fucking argument about that Christmas party from 2021 is ridiculous in 2023.
Who brought up the conversation? I can't even remember.
Well, Kiki brought it up to Kimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And then she also mentioned the things that Stormy was saying. I think it was Kimmy or Kiki that mentioned the things that Stormy said. Stormy heard her name. And so then they joined, the other ladies in the conversation. And Stormy basically says, if you thought something was wrong with what I said, you should have checked me, but you didn't. So it's like, she should have checked you.
Still wasn't.
But she was still being messy.
And at the end of the day, Kiki still wasn't checking her. And I feel like she really didn't check Kimmy. She more so gave her energy to Tiffany. So it's like, what are we really doing here?
Making a moment.
At the end of the day, you and Tisha both have to be held accountable for the bullshit y'all both did.
Okay.
I ain't mind you telling on Tisha or saying anything about Tisha because that's what you get, BIT. What goes around comes around, and it came around a little closer to home. You can't be sitting up here trying to throw stuff up in Mel face and then turn around. Your cousin and threw up some stuff that you had going on. So I mean, like, y'all both got to take accountability for whatever bullshit y'all had going on and stop trying to put it out on other folks. And now I was kind of with Tiffany. At the end of the day, it is like, that's your cousin. You should have some type of allegiance to your family. Like, at the end of the day, but you didn't. Even when you got invited to Mel's house, you should have known that was your cousin before you went and you said whatever you said. But Tiffany, you was doing a lot too. Like, everybody was doing a lot. And it's crazy because it wasn't even that deep of a damn situation.
It wasn't.
It wasn't that deep.
She didn't even say nothing like that.
It wasn't even.
It was the fact that she didn't say nothing at all. I'm like, yeah, I can't.
She played herself, really, because she did. Tisha outed her shit. Tisha put it out there that you was addicted to drugs and you were stealing people's fucking medication when they was having C-sections. So to me, Kiki should have sprayed Tisha and Marceau. I think she was the one that really was holding back because she didn't want to ruin her relationship with Tisha. But I think she felt pushed into a corner because she was supposed to be on this show in order to help her rectify fucking up her life with doing drugs and shit, right? Mm-hmm. So Tisha is blocking her from getting on the show because Tisha is competitive and doesn't want Kiki on this show because she thinks it'll take the spotlight away from her. So she, I think she sabotaged Kiki getting on the show.
And that's the gag for me though, Bonnie, because you slick sit. I don't care what nobody say. Tisha wanted to deny that there was any competing between she and her cousin. But the moment your cousin went off to A&M and then you went to, it was definitely competition. I think Kiki wanted a scholarship that you ended up getting, or whatever or she told you about the scholarship she wanted for herself, but you ended up getting. Girl, it's been giving every bit of competing. But the gag for me is you want to sit on a reunion and try and refer to somebody as a dark soul and whatever else you want to say, but the whole time you trying to block your cousin out for being on the same level as you. And while you send and Kiki, you a good one. Because this BIT remind me of an ex-friend of mine, and I just wouldn't be friends with no bitch like that.
Like, Jeremy, this
bro, we good.
I can tell that this turned you into another dimension. Cause you was triggered. Clearly.
Do you hear me? Triggered. Like, bitch, not you done sat up here trying to stop this girl from an opportunity so you could one up her, and she probably came to you and brought the information to you or whatever. Ain't no telling. But girl,
y'all remember she defended her? Remember she defended her to Kimmy? Like, that was the whole thing. Like, you were supposed to help her get on the show, and you didn't. You used her as backup when you didn't want to be held accountable for talking shit about Mel behind her back. And to me, like, the fact that Tisha let that ruin her relationship with Kimmy to this day is really going all the way back to you not wanting to admit that y'all was talking shit about Mel, even though we seen you on camera doing it. Tisha, make it make sense.
Just be out here capping.
It don't make none at all. One of the other things that didn't make no damn sense is how Martell and Sheree is trying to press this relationship onto us. But now that we're seeing it filmed and we're seeing their reactions in real time, Sheree is going to embarrass herself for yet another season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because Sheree ends up calling Martell on the phone, and he looks and says, it's Sheree. And he ignores her.
He was clearly annoyed.
He was.
It's Sheree. She knows I'm hanging out with her.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it looks like Sheree's whole season of Atlanta is going to be about Martell. So, y'all, do y'all want to comment on this scheme or this story that they just set up acting like they're going to have kids?
I want to say this. I feel like to Martell, this could have been a game the whole time because that's what Martell does, play games. But Sheree probably saw like real potential and really trying to make this a thing. And probably the person that always calls him first and calls him all the time and seeing what he doing and this and that. And he just not on you like that. And I hated that you at your big grown age, but y'all in the talking stage like y'all some late teenagers or something like that. Like, and the whole thought of her having more kids, I'm like, Sheree ain't trying to have more kids. What Sheree is trying to do is have more kids coming at her house to visit, which are your fucking kids, the 5 ones that you do have. But as far as having a 6th child, that's a lie. Okay, don't believe that at all. What else did I want to say? I think that was pretty much. Oh, I did want to say this. I know we're not talking about housewives, but I do not mind Sheree getting played about Martell the way she sat up in them interviews and tried to talk SHI about Candy, the same person that would sit up there and support you down to the ground. And I don't like this. So you get what you get. Let's move on.
I agree. I'm glad it's not just me that notices these things, that Candy be helping y'all raggedy ass bitches, and then y'all use any opportunity to stand on her back and shade her in the process. Like, you ain't shit essentially as a person when you do stuff like that for people that go out there with to help you when they don't have to. Because I feel like you wouldn't have got back on Real Housewives of Atlanta if it wasn't for Candy and them always advocating for your raggedy ass, even without a storyline. Y'all could have brought somebody you knew who actually had tea going on. Sheree is too old for Martell. Let's keep it a buck. Let's be real.
Well, old in age, but not in the mind. Which is why I feel like they go together. He
immature, but he is not going to get over the fact that she is much older. And even though essentially Martell wants a woman that's going to take care of him, like that's what he wanted out of Mel, because apparently Marlene didn't do her job correctly. So he's looking for a mother figure in all of the women that he's in relationships with. He still doesn't want to be with somebody that's, for one, thirsty, for one, can't actually provide for him, and number 2 is that much older than him. The sugar mama shit only works with people like the girl Mel Nika. Oh, Mel Nika. She the type. Yeah, I can fuck you. I can give you dick for what you do for me, but we can't be together, bitch. I can't be your man like that. And it's because Mel has set such a high standard for Martell. Every woman he's with, he's going to compare to Mel. So if you can't make money, look beautiful, and, also bring in opportunities and all of that type of shit, if you aren't as successful, beautiful, and a resource to him and young as Mel was, then you're not good enough to be put on Mel's level as wife. So just know, until he finds like someone closer to Mel in age, access, smarts, all of that. Like, we all know that, girl, Sheree ain't really doing nothing over there. That's the reason we don't like her, is because she fake. She may look good, but why you ain't come out with like workouts and shit like that? Why you coming out with clothes that you ain't really selling people? Trying to overcharge folks for wrinkled ass t-shirts. You a fucking scammer, bitch. Like, that's what it's giving. That you a fucking scammer. And Martell knows you a scammer because scammers recognize other scammers, and we may be able to scam together, but bitch, I can't wife you because you can't really support me because you a scammer. Allegedly.
I mean, it just gives me the way that both of y'all like first I was saying Jamie was triggered, but then you know when you really start feeling shit, Bonnie said bitch. I was like, ooh.
I'm sorry, y'all, because when I really thought about it, like Sheree be doing a lot. Y'all, Sheree defended Kim Zolciak. Like, she's when you want to talk about an opportunist, you want to talk about somebody that's out for self and can be pulled any which way, no integrity whatsoever.
Yeah, whatever way the wind blow.
Yeah, whatever seems beneficial in the moment is what she's going to do. When you talk about you bitches ain't loyal, that's Sheree.
That's why she get along with Marlo. I wish she talked about how she had to get it out the mud too. But she don't talk about that. So next thing I want to talk to y'all about from I almost said Married at First Sight. Love Marriage Huntsville is Kimmy, Tisha, and Mel meeting up and trying to keep it cute. Low key, I said in my review, I personally feel like Tisha is enjoying this cordial, fake friend, fake nice more than Mel. I think that Mel is doing a really good job to where you can tell that it's fake. You can tell that she's literally being the definition of cordial. Thank you for inviting me. Having a great day. Tisha is doing a little bit more. I think that Tisha is low-key hopeful that they can forge some type of friendship. I don't even know if I'm going to call it a friendship. But I think that she wants to get along with Mel while also wanting to be the lead on the show. That's what this episode looked like to me. And I'm getting too far ahead. But whenever we seen the scene, number one, it was two things that made me think about it. Number one was the fact that you also threw Kimmy a party after Mel already threw her a party, right? It was almost like you had to redo it and put your name on the stamp and have the last word as far as celebrating Kimmy. So that was one. Number two for me was that y'all did the same comeback group presentation that we saw a long time ago. And is this when the tides turn on the show and all of a sudden this boss chick that your husband is working hard to set you up for on the show is who you think that you're going to present to us. And then you'll end up becoming the Mel of the show. I might be reaching, but that's just how I feel. So I feel like it would be easier for Tisha to get to that if her and Mel are not at odds. So that's why I feel like she's enjoying this cordialness and she's really getting along with the get along. But that's just my opinion. I think she want to be that girl on the show. And I think this is just an easier way for her to do it. So as far as the sit down, and y'all can comment on that too. Let me know what y'all thought about the sit down.
I didn't see no cordial in Tisha.
You didn't? You didn't see
No, you didn't see her attitude? She hugged her when she came in. You didn't see her too when she was sitting down?
I still don't. I think the attitude came from Kimmy saying, what can we do to get y'all back right? And I think she rolled her eyes because she didn't want to get into a conversation of what she's done wrong. But when she showed up, she was like, look at you looking like a big Mariah. And then when she showed up at the comeback group meeting, you talking about who she's dating. Then whenever she was on the phone with Kimmy, you said, can I speak to her? So what I'm seeing is a lot of like, Mel is being cordial and Tisha's just moving an inch just a little bit further by making an unnecessary comment that's on the verge of friendly and not necessarily cordial.
Gotcha. I mean, you might have a point with that. I was just more so focused on that sit down with the three ladies because Tisha was welcoming and then her attitude just went sour. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Kimmy asking y'all like, what's your thoughts? And you over there like, And it's like, well, bitch, you didn't have to come if you didn't want to be there. Like, that's what her mood was giving to me. Now, as the episode went on, I mean, she definitely got a bit more nicer. And I think that that's where your point definitely comes in. She wants to be on a better accord with Mel. And I didn't even think about that point of, oh, she wants to be that girl of the show, because you could be right on that. But I definitely got it as, for me, it was giving, she needs something from Mel, right? So that's why she's showing up in a different way. So for me, I was thinking, oh, she wants this expo to move forward versus she want to be that girl of the show. I ain't think about that one, but you could definitely have a point. But I know it definitely boils down to her being nicer now because she wants something. And that something could be to keep that check because Carlos definitely got them together. Or it could be that she want to be in charge of the girls.
And they've been setting us up for that since last season. Like her and Marceau, even with the ties,
it won't happen.
Of all of a sudden, you can tell that your wife should be a partner, or all of a sudden we know that Tisha's the owner of the company. Like, I feel like this is a setup. This is a scheme to basically erase her of being seen as like, you know, you dumb, you know, ignorant, you
the
naive.
doormats.
Yes,
You're
the doormat.
so
This
right.
is a scheme to rebrand Tisha.
Well, I told y'all that last season. When he was bringing her the coffee at the beginning of the season, I said, "Oh, nah, he bringing you coffee." When all of the other seasons, he was just the assistant that was aggravating him when he was having meetings with people.
And now he wants to recognize his faults and bring his raggedy ass daddy, who I don't even believe if it's his daddy, onto the damn show. Now you want to bring this man on, and then now you want to recognize your fault. Like, I mean, that's a good observation there, Necey, because you probably, it's definitely to change the image of what we've seen of her.
I keep saying I don't believe nothing about Marceau and Tisha's storyline. So before I start commentary on it, I always say I want to preface this with telling y'all I don't believe nothing that Tisha and Marceau say because they lie like rugs. Okay. The thing that made me know that Necey is right about Tisha trying to become the it girl is when she said that she, Mel, and Kimmy are the original, you know, 3 women, and they're, you know, kind of the leads. Okay. And because they're the original 3 and the leads of the comeback group and of the show, they should all come together. I think it's both things, Jamie. I think she is trying to use Mel because she was trying to use Mel for the expo because she can't pronounce X. And it aggravates me to no end. Bitch, expo event. What is going on?
Expo. The expo. It was multiple times.
You know why she upsets me? Because I feel like we're all telling you, Tisha, that we don't believe what you're giving us. Whenever you try to read somebody, whenever you try to act like you know what you're talking about, whenever you try to assert yourself, we can read that it's bullshit, that you don't believe it. And so when you do it, it makes us feel uncomfortable. When she was giving her PowerPoint, we like, girl, we don't believe it.
Because how you got 3 degrees or however many you got, but you're giving a presentation with your back to the audience. I said, girl,
and reading,
we learned that
off of it.
High school. What you doing?
Girl, college.
Verbatim, reading verbatim.
Another reason why I'm like, okay, I know you want to be that girl. I think she wants to move into the position of I orchestrate the events. I orchestrate the group coming together, and I want to be the nucleus. Me and Mel can get along, but I'll invite you to what I got going on. Whereas that's what we saw at the beginning. But I know that for a fact because when she sat down with Kimmy mentioned how all 3 of them is the reason why the group is together, yada, yada, yada. And that the group wouldn't be what it was without one of them being, you know, without one of them, right? Then when it came down to the Black Business Expo presentation, Kimmy was saying to Tisha, you can't be asking somebody to do something for free when they're on a different level. And she was referencing Mel being on a different level than them as far as her following. Tisha was triggered and said, but we're all on a different level.
Definitely was triggered.
Yeah, no, since you got on the show, yes, but y'all are not on the same level as Mel. Tisha, as much as people defend you and fight for you on this show, you do not have a fan base. Like, not the way Mel has a fan base. The reason why Mel's businesses do so well is because she has a strong fan base. For all of the women that have been in fucked up relationships, for all of the young women in their 30s now that don't want to be forced to be in marriages where they are unhappy simply because they've had a whole bunch of kids with a nigga, or simply because he's so fine and we should be so lucky. Her continuing to be successful after their marriage is a sign to all women that you can do this too. And everybody hates her for it that wants to stay in their current bullshit space. So for Tisha to even come up to us with this, it's like, girl, you don't even believe in yourself enough for us to take you seriously in this role. And Marceau doesn't take you seriously in this role either. You don't even command shit in your household. You had to the way she sat and explained to this nigga about him giving her office away, and homeboy came in for 5 minutes and made the point, and all of a sudden, ding,
Thank you. And that's the same thing they did with the damn dad. And this is where I have to go back to Necey's point and give her credit, because I'm as we're talking more about this show, I'm seeing more and more clear of what the hell you're saying, because it's not just Tisha trying to be the girl. It's on it's all of them trying to put Tisha and Marceau in the spot that Melody and Martell were when they first started this show.
The problem, though,
yes,
the
so
problem,
I see
though,
you. We see each other.
Reenacting the beginning. They're reenacting the beginning.
Yes.
And thinking that we can start over with this new dynamic.
But see, we can't, because we know too much. And what we know is Tisha's a doormat and Marceau takes advantage of her. And we're even now starting to point out shit about Maurice and Kimmy that we weren't seeing before. We're not as gullible as we were when this show first started. So we can't go back to a perfect marriage that just has some issues. That's not going to work when we know that there's other shit that's happened that y'all don't want to address. Especially in last episode when Stormy was trying to bring up Marceau's cheating rumors and Tisha kept saying she don't want to talk about it. Okay, so if we're going to continue to ignore what we know has taken place in real time, then you can't be Mel, because Mel put her own shit on blast. That's the thing people don't get. Mel made the initial sacrifice by putting her own shit on blast for being honest about everything that was going on. That's why I hate when people call her fake all the time, because I'm like, she actually is probably the realest person on the show. Everything y'all say about her is a reflection of somebody that's being too real for how everybody wants them to be. She was too honest about the cheating and everybody was mad at her about that. And now that she feels like I shouldn't be in this space, I'm better than this, everybody's mad at her for feeling that way, but we all know it's true. Like, we want her to go and do Real Housewives of Atlanta or some shit. Like, girl, you could do something else. You don't even need, like, that's the funny part. She doesn't need the show. When they talk about how the ratings for the show are going down, I'm like, that matters, but I don't think that really matters to Mel the way it matters to the other people on the cast.
I can see that.
Yeah, I saw this comment from Nika, and it says they're trying to prepare for if Mel leaves. That makes sense. They're lightweight trying to take all the weight off of Mel and build Tisha a fan base so the show can continue on. And then I learned
good too.
Comment.
That little short blonde bob with the lighter hair in the back and a warmer colors closer to her face.
I did like that. Tisha did look good with that, but it's still not enough to make her that girl for me.
It's not. You would have to be brave enough to put your husband on blast and stand in your shit. That's the only thing that works on reality TV, is like that blunt honestness, especially in these situations. In 2023, we know the formula. So you can't bullshit an audience anymore. We need it to be real in 2023. Yeah.
I'm laughing at this comment, this question. Could y'all see the show continuing if Mel left? And I'm like, one, it's not continuing now because the views are dropping. Two, they already tried that with Tisha and her family. And what had me cackling was the fact that I referred to them as the PJs. And that's why I'm over here laughing like, girl, ain't nobody finna watch that shit. We just not, they barely watching now. Like, no, for real. Wanda is not gonna be enough to save y'all. Like,
it's not enough. But you know what killed me though? It's Carlos. Carlos is so delusional and I can't stand it. Like, I wish he wasn't like this, but to me, it's kind of like a byproduct of why shit is not working, because there's a level of dishonesty taking place. Like when he did he's done all these interviews and shit with Martell, and he gets up there and he says these really disingenuous statements, like, women forget about their husbands when they get to a certain level, and all of this bullshit that he's talking about, then saying that, he does like Candy. He and Mel are really good friends. All of those things are like delusional moments because we know they aren't true, and you still say them out loud to people as if we can't see what's happening. So it's hard for the reality show to do well when nobody's being real. Like, not even
it starts to get stale, it turns, and you can't recover from that. And not unless you get new blood to be all the way real. And to be honest, I don't even know if then it might just need to be a new champion franchise.
I can see that. I can see it being a new champion franchise, but I do think that he could use some new couples.
Yeah,
and probably move some of them to the back. Like,
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if that will work. I don't know if having new couples will work because it feels like a production issue to me. So, for instance, you know that Tisha and Marceau have more shit going on, and you allow them not to talk about it on the show. You have Tiffany and Lewis on the show. Shit starts happening with them. All of a sudden, they disappear. We don't see shit from them until the baby pops up. Now they're back on the show. So when shit was actually going on that would have been entertainment, you allowed people to step back because y'all crack under the pressure of shit being too ghetto. When really everybody that was making those complaints was full of shit. Wanda was doing too much. The show was not ghetto. It was never loving hip hop. Like, y'all can say what y'all want to say, but until Wanda came into the picture, it was never love and hip hop, meaning there were no physical altercations like that. Okay, until Wanda came in the picture. Once y'all scooted Wanda to the side, that wasn't really an issue anymore. But I feel like now, because of how messy the show is, y'all are trying too hard to fix it, and in essence, taking away what gives reality shows their real value. The reality of the situation. And we're not getting that. We're getting produced moments. We're getting everything's produced. The people are even producing themselves. Like, we know Mel don't see it for none of these people. No. We know Tisha don't like Mel. We know Marceau we know Martell loves Mel, can't stand, well, not really love her, but he wants her. But obsessed. But he's obsessed. He's angry. Like that scene that they had, he moves the seat. And then, acts all calm. But when she walks in the room, we can see him wanting to jump out of his damn skin because she looks so good and he just can't have it and he can't touch it and that's killing him. We can see all of that shit, but nobody's talking about it. So, yeah. I mean, even with Kimmy and Maurice, like, we're going to keep acting like Maurice isn't showing himself to be an even bigger asshole than his brother sometimes. Like, we ignore so many good moments so that y'all can protect the cast, and it's giving, well, if we need to protect them that much, they don't need to do this anymore, but nobody wants to give it up because it's a nice check and it does well for everybody's business.
Say that. That's what that conversation with Kimmy was about. It was about, hey, we didn't have a conversation off camera about how we gonna get along to get this check. Let's have one on camera so they can see us have this conversation and nobody has questions about why now all of a sudden y'all church hugs. But yeah, to your point, Bonnie, I don't know how much of a difference it'll make if we get new people. Because my first thing was like, maybe we should get new people. But then I was like, literally every time we ask for somebody new, we got somebody new on this show. For the most part, they just haven't pulled the original 6 off. Yeah. We got Destiny. And
y'all didn't force her to tell us shit.
Tiffany and Lewis.
Then we got
Kiki, Stormy.
Yeah, every time we've asked for somebody new, pretty much there's been somebody new on the show, and it still hasn't been enough to really shake the table and get the show back to where we would like it to be. So I really don't know. I guess we'll just have to see.
To that comment that said Love and Marriage Huntsville needs to go back to being raw, they won't, they can't, they will never. And the reason for that, Bondi already kind of explained it. The show thrived off of the business of Martell and Melody for about at least 4 seasons or so, right? So they can't, like, they became those people, like the show was really centered around them, even when it kicked off. So they're not together. They're not going to go back because now we're tired. Who want to see them bicker, you know what I'm saying, forever about their divorce? Like, it's so long you can continue to do that, especially when one person is evolving past that relationship. Like, nobody wants to see it. So the best thing they can do is have real serious issues, or I'm not going to say serious, but real stuff going on with them, i.e. Kimmy and Maurice, outside of just the cancer situation, and Tisha and Marceau gonna have to really talk about some challenging things that they've been through in their marriage, because that is love and marriage, and not just talk about how he sees her as less than because she's a woman. And y'all need to find a better couple that's gonna be able to carry the show.
A household like that. This scene, this past episode with them in the house with the kids, was probably the first time we had seen them in a house in seasons.
Yeah, I know. We ain't seen that house in a minute. I didn't even know if they were still in that house.
Because they not. That's a different house, and that house is smaller. But they wanted to show us that Marceau is doing something other than acting like an asshole. So we got to have family dinner where you make everybody feel a way about the fact that Tisha didn't cook dinner. Like, I was just kind of like, nigga, I really wish that you would just hang it up already, because we're tired. Like, we're all tired of your 1950s misogynistic bullshit ass mindset on how relationships should go. We tired, and we really just want to get to the bottom of it. Tell us the truth of your origin story like a real villain, or get the fuck out of our faces.
No,
okay?
for real. What is the origin story? Was your daddy there or was he not?
Right, because that's just so confusing. You want to brag about your dad to Maurice and how he was and how he looked out for his kids, but then y'all talk about your daddy leaving the house and y'all had to work when y'all was like 10, 11, 12. What are we talking? That's why I said that ain't your daddy. I don't care. Your nose ain't even like this man's nose.
Listen, I'm glad
Like,
you brought that up,
I'm not
though,
finna
Jamie,
deal.
because during the conversation with Martell, Marceau, and Maurice, every time Marceau said something about the daddy, Maurice tried to interject to counteract what he was saying.
Oh,
and
he did.
Marceau would interrupt him. So,
I didn't know that.
Yes, like
what I did notice was Martell's first reaction was, dang, 8 kids and your daddy didn't dip out on y'all?
He said we weren't poor, and he was like, we didn't even know we were poor. And Maurice was like, yeah, until we got in high school. And then he was like, and even then we weren't really poor, we were just broke. And Maurice was like, I'll give you that. But to me, it sounded like there were a few times where I heard Maurice trying to say something, and Marceau would just cut him off like, no, we're not going to act like we were poor. We're going to act like we just had to do more, you know, to make it. We had more responsibilities, but no, we're not going to act like he wasn't there, because then
he was sleeping in the church.
Right. That's not what they had told us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, y'all be up here lying, bro. I don't think that's his daddy. I don't, and for the record, I don't think he has his mama know his daddy knows. I just don't. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe she could have shaped it or something. You know, when you have your newborn, you're supposed to, like, you know, but do what you want to do.
They
you
do
know
that to noses.
My mama shaped my nose.
Okay,
she didn't shape my older brother nose. His nose is a little wide, but the rest of her kids, she was like, oh, let's go.
I've heard about the belly buttons, but
my dad did that to me.
Nose.
He used to call it, let me pull your nose. That's what he would say. But that's what
she shaped my son's nose too.
He would always do that, like grab and squeeze my nose when I was smaller, because he didn't want me to have his nose. He has the cauliflower nose, and my mom had a very thin nose. I personally believe my nose was gonna look like this whether he was grabbing it or not, but I'm gonna leave him alone. I think it was gonna look like this either way, sir. I don't think you grabbing it all the time really did anything, but okay, if that's what you felt like you needed to do.
Well, sure.
I was cute. I don't know.
What else y'all got on Love Mary Huntsville?
Hold up, let me think. Stormy was messy as fuck. Are we gonna admit that?
Who was it?
Stormy.
Messy about what?
In that scene when Mel was like,
at Mel's house.
Well, no, not at Mel's house. At the spa.
At the spa, when she said that's how you move forward through stuff, by talking about it.
Yeah, she was being very passive aggressive by the way she said that shit. Like, you know, you have conversations, you talk about it, but bitch, not at the spa. That's why I'm talking right here.
Girl, you know how they do on reality TV. They do not care where you are. We literally just saw Love and Marriage DC. Then what's that man's name? Jamie. Did he snap off on his wife at the salt room or something? Didn't they have like some conflict?
No, he didn't snap off on her at the salt room. That was at that party that they threw.
Is it back?
No,
it's not back yet. Okay. But to me, I feel like for Mel, when she came back in and said, this is not what we wanted for today, it felt like producer telling talent, y'all are going to make it hard for us to come back to this spot. So can y'all please shut the fuck up? Because we come here when we're not filming. So don't fuck up our relationship with these people by continuing to scream at the top of your lungs while having this conversation.
The simple ass conversation that it really ain't about nothing. So
ain't about nothing. You should have told me shut fuck up then. Why you ain't tell me shut up then? Because that's what I would have did. Stormy girl, please stop. Like, I'm sorry.
Trying to buck up.
But see, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair to come for Stormy and not come for Tiff, because Tiff was on the same energy even with her being pregnant. Okay.
I agreed with Stormy. I did. I agree with Stormy. If you felt some type of way, you should have said something. But it's something about with Stormy, I get aggravated because she always try to come off as like too real. Like, you know, she try to buck up like, yeah, I'm down home type girl. I ain't doing all this front for you.
People call you ghetto.
Right. And then you gonna go above and beyond and try to be cool with everybody. So while she was right, you should have said something to me. The way it was like, you should have shut up. It was like, pick which one you want to be. Do you want to be too real for the shit, or do you want to be friends with everybody?
That's a great point.
Also, when Mel was leaving, I caught that, you know, oh, you good? You good? I'm good. See, you got to have conversations sometimes. And everybody looking at Mel, and she's like, okay, well, if you feel like that was proper, that's your thought. And, you know, she's like, okay, well, you enjoy the rest of your dating. I will. It's going to be amazing. Okay, well, bye then. Like, I heard her louder than everybody.
Yeah.
So to me, I felt like it was a moment where you're challenging Mel, and Mel not even specifically talking to you. She's just saying, y'all all doing too much for me in this moment. So I'ma go.
I did agree with her on that.
No, this what we need to do.
No, I did agree. I think everybody was doing a whole fucking lot. It just wasn't that deep. Like to even get attitudes or yell, be loud. Like about what? At the end of the day, Kiki got herself in the hole. What we yelling about?
I'm glad you brought up Tiffany. Let's talk about Tiffany, because she worked on my fucking nerves. Let me tell you something, bitch. You don't, Tiffany, you know I like you. I'm not really calling you a bitch. I'm talking how I talk. I'm sorry. Okay, you know I like you. Tiffany, it is your responsibility to remember you pregnant. It's not everybody else's responsibility in the room to remember to ignore you being antagonistic because you're pregnant.
Did you think she was? I didn't think she did anything wrong.
Yes, I did. She was being to me more messier than Stormy because she started the conversation with Mel in a whole nother room. And then they came into that room, they started going back and forth, and she started getting loud with Kiki.
Well,
and
I never on things that I don't know what I'm talking about.
Right.
I thought she was still talking pretty calm, in my opinion.
It's not that she wasn't calm, but to me, you can simply state or feel like I don't fuck with somebody without feeling like you need people to validate you not fucking with them. And I feel like she basically went around the room trying to get everybody to validate that Kiki was disloyal, which we can agree to. But bitch, what does it matter to you?
And she was coming with that energy because she was being very clear that she did not like this lady just a few minutes ago.
And
so she was on some other shit.
To me, it was only for the show. Yes, to make sure that she gets her next season pass because she knew she was up for grabs with Destiny's ass. I think everybody's scared because they recognized that Destiny was not there. They didn't think Carlos was gonna let nobody go. And so when Destiny didn't show up and she wasn't filming, I think everybody was like, okay, so we're going to have to show up and show out.
Yeah.
She was trying to contribute to the scene.
She was.
Yeah.
But I also feel like at the beginning of it, like before we got to this episode, the previous one, she and Tiffany were being especially like messy to me, bringing up the puppets. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just a lot of shit that Tiffany.
About that. She did say that.
Yes, like so if I did this, then like it's like, come on, girl. Like she was going at Tisha too, and you know, calling Tisha childish. She was right, and she was right.
Allegiance to Tisha to be feeling
anyway
about Kiki. Exactly. You just finished going at Tisha calling her childish for the fucking puppets, and now you turn around talking about she was crying real tears, and I was just feeling away because that's, you know, I don't understand because I've never had family like this, so maybe I don't understand. Girl, you're trying to have a moment and you're trying too hard and you're pregnant, and everybody's trying to be mindful of you being pregnant, and I personally want you to be fucking mindful that you're pregnant and just say your opinion and then scoot back.
Scoot back.
Was out of breath getting that opinion across. Like,
girl. It for me, it was when she was like, I do know what I'm talking about, because really you don't. Like, let's be clear. We all can look at Tisha and Kiki's situation and know that Kiki ain't pulling like her disdain for Tisha out her ass. Like, we know that Tisha has done things to get Kiki to this point. So for Tiffany to feel so strongly that you need to let this lady know at a fucking spot that you don't fuck with her because of what you saw happen on the show, even when you weren't there. Yeah, y'all, that was given. I'm trying to have a moment for the show.
Yeah, I have to agree. As I'm looking back, I'm thinking back about the scene. they both went in there, Stormy and Tiffany, to have some shit to like start. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say start no shit, but definitely to have some shit, to have a moment, because Tiffany just had the conversation, and then you got Stormy over here like, I heard my name. So
and she did the puppet thing too, but they didn't zero in on her. But she did the puppet shit with her hand too. And that's why I was just kind of like, yeah, bitch, that. You was there for mess too. And I just kind of felt like she was purposely trying to like challenge Mel in that Mel came in as producer. Like Mel came in as producer. It's not what we wanted for the scene today, ladies. Like that's the vibe it was giving.
No, and you can tell by the way that she dismissed herself, because one thing you don't never see on reality TV is people dismiss themselves unless like they pissed, you know, they cut the scene, they mad. But you don't ever see people just be like, I gotta go home. You remember whenever Kim Zolciak used to do that all the time, and they was getting pissed because her husband would come pick her up in the middle of the scene?
Yes.
That's kind of, you could tell Mel was like, this is not what I thought the scene was gonna be. I don't have it in me today for this. So with that being said, since this ain't what we agreed to, I'm going home.
It definitely was giving producer, and it was also giving teacher. When Mel got up, I was like, kind of like, why the fuck is you up here whispering like that? Girl, talking your normal voice.
Lost her voice.
But what I also thought about too was, well, shit, y'all niggas was just loud as hell. She probably trying to show y'all how y'all really need to be talking in this damn spot.
It was, we're gonna bring it down here.
The etiquette class. That's why we're gonna get etiquette.
And exactly. That's why we need an etiquette class, because y'all don't know how to calm the fuck down when y'all communicate your feelings. And I need y'all to bring it down. Yeah. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I was just talking about this. That y'all, I'm so ignorant sometimes, but there's something I do not like doing, and that's arguing in public. I do not like getting loud and arguing in public places. That is embarrassing to me to be that couple. So I'm not doing that with nobody. So when they were getting loud like that and she got up and walked out, to me it felt like I don't want to be associated with this. Like that's what it gave me.
I can see that too.
So to me it felt more of an embarrassment on behalf of the Black people at these people spy filming a reality show, screaming and howling, disturbing everybody. Yeah. I hope they was closed down for the day. I hope that nobody else was there getting a massage, because I would have been mortified, because I'm one of the people that I don't want to hear shit when I'm getting my massage done, bitch. I don't want to hear you laughing. I would have been mortified, because I was just saying, because me personally, I hate that shit. Y'all, I've had massages and a bitch getting a wax, not too, and they screaming, and I'm just kind of like, bitch, I almost want to ask for my money back, because this is not what I came here for. I need quiet. I need peace. I pick up on shit, bitch. I am princess in the pea, okay? And shit aggravate me. So I felt away. Like, so to me, like, I feel like Mel is that type of person, you know, where they just kind of be like, I don't like to act a fool in public. So, yeah. And Stormy was like, no, this is good, because I'm good, you good. And I was like, girl, ain't nobody good. Y'all gonna argue some more in another scene. Ain't nobody
in another
good.
scene. Lord have mercy. It's coming.
But it was
well, next week should be entertaining, to say the least, because Martell gonna get escorted out of that damn birthday party.
Ooh, damn, I low-key want to ask y'all what y'all think about that.
I feel like bye. I do. I don't know the full scope about what all happened, but I kind of feel like bye.
I think
he can have a separate party. But I feel like we dealt with this before. Didn't we deal with this in the previous season?
Kim and Kanye went through this.
They did.
Last year, Kim said she was going to call the police on Kanye for coming to the kid's birthday party. And that's when he went on a rant on Twitter. And everybody felt bad for Kanye. But now
I know what it was. It was on it was kind of on the show. Remember when Martell and Mel weren't talking, and she ended up having a birthday party for their daughter or their daughters or something like that, and he didn't know anything about it, couldn't get access or whatever the case was. That I think it played out on social media, and then we may have saw it on the show later. So it's kind of like this ain't nothing new. So he should have kind of known what was up at that time.
Martell counts on the male-centered women that are going to feel sorry for him and feel like Mel is trying to keep him from the kids, when really he's harassing Mel. And so she has to keep her space to protect herself. But they don't understand that part. because they don't know what it's like to have a man harassing them because they're thirsty for a man. They feel like, oh, girl, I wish a man that fine was harassing me. Yeah, until the nigga is popping up at your job. Okay, until the nigga is destroying shit and fucking up your peace and giving you yeast infections, whatever.
And that's why he waits until these public moments to try to strategically make her look bad or make him look like the good guy. So I hope she do send his ass to jail. I mean, I hope the police do come escort him out because he shouldn't be there. And it really, that just lets me know it wasn't about the kids. Like, if he's refusing to leave, it was never about your daughter, because you would rather see your daughter sit there and argue with your mama so you could manipulate your daughter into thinking that you were being kept away than to keep the peace at her birthday party. It was never about your daughter. So I don't even know. I ain't seen the episode, but I'm already guessing just based on his antics, that's what the fuck it's going to be.
And then he could have also set up something where it was like, is it okay if I'm at the, if I meet you guys at her birthday event to pick her up and we go do something later on that day? You know what I'm saying? He could have also made that work where when you guys are done, I won't intrude on what you got going on, but afterwards I like to take her out to eat. He could have played, you know what I'm saying? He don't want to co-parent properly. Right. Because he keep trying to get back with her.
And he uses every opportunity to do that, which is why you can't give him no space, because when you give him an inch, he takes a mile. He's saying
it is. We're gonna see this weekend, but it was two more things I wanted to talk to y'all about because I know I didn't keep y'all a long time. What else we gonna talk about this weekend is Real Housewives of Atlanta, which comes back on Sunday. But I jumped the gun. First of all, let's congratulate Kandi, y'all. Kandi was nominated for a Tony and Emmy I think a day apart. Y'all know going for EGOT status.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited, and this is her and Todd for the piano lesson. So I think this is gonna be great, and I hope that she gets it. Like, this is somebody who really be going after stuff and be giving people opportunities, like what we was talking about earlier. So I think that she's super deserving, and that I don't know, she is inspirational. I'll say that.
It is. It's been within. I mean, she's had her Grammy for 20 plus years now, but the EGOT, she put that out not too long ago that she wanted that, and just started working in plays within the last 5 years. So the fact that already you have a Tony nomination and an Emmy nomination, all that's left is an Oscar, and that doesn't mean she's gonna win it, but that's like really close, you know what I'm saying, to something that is very hard for people to obtain. And you literally just put that out there in the past few years. So I think that's definitely a testament of when you put your mind and your energy into what you want to accomplish and manifest for yourself, it will happen for you.
Absolutely. I can see her getting them all.
Me too.
I can. And a lot of people may be like, Kandi can't act, because y'all love trying to discredit this woman. Either she can't act or she can't sing. Pick one. But understand from what I am familiar with, you still can get an Oscar just from a song. So if she doesn't get it from acting, it could come from a song, because then 3 6 Mafia get
yes, they did.
They got an Oscar.
So out here for a pimp. Absolutely.
Right. So if she doesn't go get that Oscar by way of acting, it could come by way of music. So
one thing Kandi is blessed, though. That's for sure. Like in a inexplainable type of way. All the things she's been able to do, like, that is insane.
She do right by people.
That's what I was about to say. I think it's because she do people. Because
she do right.
Oh yeah, right.
She do right by people. I agree. I was just about to say that, Jamie. Like, she really lifts a hand, to help people. She makes herself accessible to people. And I think that type of giving and staying in that space is what keeps her, blessed the way she is. And I think that's a blessing. I think her whole life, like, honestly, watching Kandi from when she first got on Real Housewives of Atlanta, with, being a single mother and a boyfriend that's, a drug dealer, and now being married to Todd with 2 more children and an empire, and Todd's a great dad and really good in the business himself, and they complement each other and make each other's lives better, regardless of what everybody else says. I think that Candy has been able to fulfill a lot of her dreams because of who Todd is, and not necessarily all just because of who she is. Because let's not forget, Todd is the one that's been in production. So when it comes to producing plays and producing films and all of that type of shit, that was definitely Todd's purview. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, you know, her whole life, like when you really look at it, has been a really amazing testament to somebody having powerful, you know, will.
Yeah, she's kind of like a you know, a lot of people like to say Lala is like a connector, like Lala know a lot of people.
Yes.
And I think Lala's gonna go far as well, regardless of how talented people think that she is or isn't. I think she's gonna go far just off of that. And I think Candy was Lala before Lala, if that makes sense. I think Candy know how to do right by people and maintain her connects and knowing how to actually work her connects, you know. So
yeah, you know, that remind me of whenever we was doing the show one time and we was talking about, you know what I'm about to say, Jamie?
I do. I thought about that the other day. I thought about that when I was seeing her on the red carpet. I thought about that. I think it was on the red carpet. No. It was Cardi B. It was a post Cardi B said. People were like, "Oh, you could tell Lala don't like Cardi," and Cardi was like, "That's a lie. I talk to Lala the most out of everybody. Like she helped me with a lot. She connected me." And I thought about the conversation we had.
What did we say after that?
I'm thinking about whenever we was talking about Lauren London not wanting
yes.
We was talking about Lauren London not wanting to do certain things as an actress. And Jamie was like, man, shout
call out Lala, she'll do it. Was that it?
Yeah, but she said it differently. But I gotta say this. Shout out to people who watch the panel who remember what I'm about to say. So anyway, Jamie was like, man, like, what about Lala? Like, she used Lala as an example of like
that will go that extra mile to
I remember.
Like because Lauren wouldn't kiss that dude, it was CGI.
Yes.
But Lala will go that extra mile to make a scene like more believable. So I was giving her like credit, like, hey, because I wouldn't feel comfortable probably doing them sex scenes and making it believable and stuff. So that's why I was giving her credit. And y'all was like, Jamie.
It was funny.
And y'all bust out.
Because I think we was like, is you an actress or is you not? And I think in our minds, we was thinking about like great actors, great actresses who go the extra mile. And then when you said Lala, I was like, why would you think about Lala in this?
Because my great actresses, I mean, outside of Megan Good would have been a way great example, right? But the first person that came to mind was Angela Bassett, and I just can't recall seeing her in those type of roles. You know what I'm saying? Where she's all sexual and this and that. So
Halle Berry.
I forgot about Holly. Holly definitely would have got down. Well, she did. She did.
Monsters Ball.
She did.
Oh
yeah,
but that's hilarious because now I do remember feeling like Lala.
And we busted out laughing, and Jamie was like, "What? No, I'm just trying to say." I gotta go find that. That was on my channel. I need to go watch that again. Oh goodness. But y'all, Real Housewives of Atlanta comes on Sunday. I saw a few of the confessional looks. It was kind of funny. They said they was calling Candy La Negra because she had the big afro on her confessional look. It was hilarious.
I like ethnic looks on her though. I think they look good on her facial features, like the big, thick, and textured hair.
Like this one.
Yeah, I love this one. I don't care what nobody say. They thought it was too much, but I think it's giving Diana Ross.
It wasn't this look. No, it wasn't. Did you see the other look?
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. But
okay,
I know
that's why they said
talked about the looks. They were saying it was too much hair. And I didn't feel like that. I feel like when it comes to black women, it could never be too much hair. But the afro I saw, it was definitely given like 70s. And my only thing about that is I need some of that to be real. I can't stand fake afros.
I mean,
it gives Party City sometimes,
Right, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I like this one right here. If this the confessional look, I'm not even gonna hold you.
The confessional look.
No. The one I'm looking at right now, I'm finna send it to Necey. I don't know if she Yeah, I don't know about that. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
Girl, that's it. And that's why I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Is that real?
Let me see. I'm about to pull it up. I doubted it. I mean, I don't know what candy hair look like, but just I ain't seen an afro hold that much shape like that. That's been real in a minute.
I need to see it in movement because I might feel differently. Because I like afros.
Maybe it's
I
the
just don't
still
know if
shot.
I like it on her.
It could be the still shot too.
It might be the still shot. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, I saw a chick with an afro today on social media, and I was like, damn, that bitch got me missing my afro.
It could also be AI. Shit, I don't think it's
my abs hurt too much for this, y'all. Why y'all got me laughing like that?
I don't think it is, but it could also be the way that, you know, we've been seeing AI out here. Oh, damn. Pop up. Hold on. And that's the fro.
No, it's not working. It's not giving Pamela Greer.
She looked just like Mama Joyce, though. Literally.
She do.
Boy, I was watching a TikTok video of Mama Joyce talking about how she used to spend Candy money and Candy didn't like that or something. Or at least Candy didn't like that her mama would say she didn't do nothing or she wasn't doing nothing. And it's like, don't try and play me out. So then it was at the reunion when the whole conversation came up about Mama Joyce using Candy's money. And instead of her answering it directly, she went into the spiel of what all parents do when they talk about what all they did for you when you came up.
Yes. I was the 5th member.
Right. That's what it was giving. It was giving that.
It was. They mamas all give living, vicariously through my daughter. Because I couldn't do what they could do. So I'm going to live through them. She's always giving that when it comes to Candy. Like, honestly, it's disgusting because I feel like you tried to keep Candy for yourself because you didn't want to share her wealth. And you now have 2 extra grandbabies from the relationship with Todd, and yet you still give Todd a hard time. And I don't understand why. Like, considering the fact that he made more for everybody, not less.
And before that, he done gave you like 2-3 restaurants that I'm sure you get residuals from or in some capacity. OLG. Yeah,
OLG.
They got
locations, right?
2 here, and then they also got one in the I think it's the State Farm Arena. I think they still got that one.
Have multiple locations. That's great.
Yeah, I know they had at least 2. Wait, hold up. What happened with Martell clip dissing Todd on OMFFG reality page?
Martell clip dissing Todd.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Now, what you dissing Todd for? Why y'all?
Everybody love dissing Todd. That's what I'm trying to find out.
He trying to be Peter Thomas of Bravo and on.
Todd be over there staying in his lane, respecting the celebrity of his wife, moving about his business, making his money, being a daddy, and I just don't be understanding it. But child.
I did not see the clip. What is this? Sneak peek. Is that the Real Housewives sneak peek that they're referring to? I can't tell, but either way, I can't play because they gonna flag me for
play the audio.
Yeah, put the thing back over. Put the overlay up.
Okay. Let me put it up. All right. I don't know if this is it, but I'm gonna play the video in hopes that it is.
Okay.
Oh, 1 second.
Going on, Miss Candy?
Well, it's been a lot of, work stuff.
I was disappointed with Sheree and you.
Okay,
Tyrone. Oh, maybe he's his other woman's house.
Because I'm watching the episode, Sheree.
If you want, I'm good clickbait.
See how she posted on her social media all the times I had said all those great things about her?
She just posted this?
Was it around the time I had posted the first spoof?
You talking about me every week on your show. I get it, because if you want, I'm good clickbait.
You think I
was really
clickbait?
You use me every week, honey.
She wanted to be clickbait. She's clickbait. I was definitely Betty Betty when it came to spoofing Sheree. Apparently, Sheree never remembers the things that she says about other people. Girl, I'm gonna do a you on you. I'm gonna act like I don't remember. What you mean?
It was funny.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
it was funny. I thought it was funny.
Are you going to the party?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
You think Sheree's gonna bring her new boo?
Please, is she serious? I hope not.
I think she's serious.
You heard about Martell?
Girl, the streets. You know me.
The streets been talking to you too.
Yes.
Street said he been kicking it with some chicks in Atlanta.
I heard that too.
No.
Yeah.
Like you coming in town and dipping around? I mean, it's a little awkward because he did lightweight try to talk to me.
What?
Yes.
No.
Reaching out via Instagram.
He slid up in your DMs.
So what else is going on, Miss Candy?
It didn't seem like that was it, but they said it was a sneak peek. Yeah, it was. It must have been a different sneak peek.
He told Ty to be. He's called Ty the real opportunist because Candy told Sheree to be careful with him.
Oh, I think that was at Sheree's house, right? When he was at Sheree's house, I think that's the sneak peek they was talking about when he pulled up. And I think she was telling him about Sonya's party, and I think he could have asked who all gonna be there, and that's when she ran the list, and I think that's when he could have brought up the opportunist and then said something about Todd.
Okay. I can't. I think they gonna Martell my ears off. Like Martell between two networks, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I'm about to tell you.
I'm gonna lose it. But yeah, y'all. Y'all have anything else y'all want to speak on for tonight?
No.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank y'all for coming. Thank you to the members for tuning in on a Wednesday, and everybody else who's watching this on replay. Be sure to like the video on your way out. If you like the conversation, share it with a friend, because I know y'all be listening when y'all at work and all kind of other stuff, okay? Be sure to follow Bondi, Jamie, that's me, and myself, Necey Dixon. Another thing I'm going to add is Bondi is almost at 100,000. Who's going to beat 100,000 to hit that subscribe button?
Okay.
I know that's real.
Help a sister out. Okay. We at 99.6. So help me get there.
Come on. So yeah, share everybody's pages with a friend, y'all. Bondi Blue, Jamie, that's me, and myself, Necey Dixon, and I'll see y'all next Thursday on Bondi channel, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect timing. Okay. All right. Have a good night, y'all.
Bye.